Put your head down and pour. Sam's an offensive line coach by trade. That's kind of, they're grinders. Just grind. Just grind it out and see what will happen.
Coach,
There's so many things you can't control. Kid gets hurt. You turn the ball over at the wrong time. Some kind of thing like that. You can't control that. But you just still put your head down and grind.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden. You're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
Heard all across ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com.
Hit that line.
This is The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson, Tommy Kraft, and Chuck Barrett.
You're in need of a serious attitude adjustment, young man. You better get your priorities straight.
Produced by Christian Johnston.
In spite of the juvenile snickers of some, this is a serious matter.
Good morning, gentlemen. Let me rephrase that. You got two gentlemen. You got one ain't earned it yet, has he?
You don't need to wear a ball cap, man. You need to let those golden locks flow.
It's
Enjoyed our conversation with former Oklahoma State coach Pat Jones, who you heard at the top of our open there. We talked Sam Pittman, Oklahoma, Texas, and more. If you missed that conversation, you can go to hitthatline.com or find it in our Bud Light Morning Rush podcast. We're going to come back to some of the things he said today here on a What's Your Beef Wednesday. Share our beefs. I have a few from this past week. And as far as this weekend goes, I don't have anything to beef about. 90 holes of golf in 3 days for me coming up. Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. I'm going to play once tomorrow. I'm going to play twice on Friday and twice on Saturday. I hope my back doesn't give out. I'm going to do my stretching, a lot of stuff before, but 90 holes in 3 days.
Yeah. Good for you. And in Florida.
In Florida.
I hope the rain, just, particularly in the Tampa area in that part, afternoon thunder shower. Hopefully you don't get any interruption, but 90 holes, 5 days, but you're really playing 90 holes in 3 days, right?
90 holes in 3 days.
Yeah.
We're flying out tomorrow morning at 6:10, flying back around lunchtime on Sunday. We'll be at media days as of Monday morning at 6 a.m. So it is going to be it's going to be one of those things I need to stretch, hydrate, and prepare for not just the golf, but next week.
Stretch. Tell me what your stretching exercises look like for golf. How much stretching do you do? Please tell us. Hang on, let me write this down. Hang on.
You grab the driver and you bend and you twist and you bend over and do all that.
Why do you do those things?
So I don't rupture something or break something.
You just saw somebody else do that. That looks like a good idea.
I just fall.
You have no idea what you're actually doing,
no,
do you?
Not at all. Precipitation-wise, I've been looking at it. I've been monitoring. It doesn't look that bad. It's a little bit on Thursday and Friday, but Saturday, it's nice. It's only 93. It's going to be humid as you know what, but it is. It's not going to be terrible weather, it looks like, but
it's just Florida. All I'm saying, if it rains and stops you, it won't last 30 minutes. I mean, that's just the nature of playing golf in Florida.
Real quick, we are staying in a villa on the 18th green of a country club called Lake Javita. So we literally walk out on our back porch. There's chairs outside and we can watch people play the course. It's pretty cool.
That's a great setup.
So it's pretty cool. I'm excited. I want to tell you my startup ideas. We get into this What You Beef Wednesday.
I've had a good summer so far of getting to play some great golf. So I'm glad you're. I haven't played great golf. I've played great golf courses. Let me rephrase. I haven't necessarily been prime, but I've had a chance to play some prime spots. So it sounds like you will as well. Hey, quick word for our friends at Farm Credit. If you're looking to spruce up your existing home or maybe build a new one, or you're not sure exactly what to do and you want to know what the financing options are, Farm Credit's got 25 locations around the state to help you choose the financing option that's best for you and your family. Go to myaglender.com. That's myaglender.com, or stop by, again, any of their 25 locations today and get started on building more family memories with Farm Credit of Western Arkansas.
So I thought of a cool thing I saw in I think it was the Fayetteville Flyer recently. It's this startup competition, and they're having this, Tommy. The final one takes place in San Francisco at the beginning of October, but they've got this like regional final of some sort at the end of August in Fayetteville in Northwest Arkansas. They're going to select 10 applicants based on the creativity and what they could be the success rate, I guess, of the startup companies. And I guess if I wanted to start up a company, I think planning like golf trips and vacations would be mine. I have planned our trip. I planned our Tampa golf trip this weekend. I planned our Charleston trip next month. I love planning trip itineraries. So if I had a startup company, if you have a startup idea, you can call or text us at 877-377-6963. That would be mine, is planning not just golf trips, but trips as a whole.
So me and a group of 7 other guys are planning a Scotland trip in a couple of years. These are the type of trips when you want to go somewhere like that. You don't plan for next year or later this summer. You plan for several years out, particularly if you want to play the old course. And there are companies out there that specialize just in golf trips. So, and that turnkey service and getting every detail handled and taken care of. Yeah, that is crucial in these kind of deals.
I had a friend that actually went to school in Glasgow, I guess it was, and she loved it. And her family visited her over there from time to time. That is something I would love to. If I'm going to go overseas somewhere, it would be Ireland. That's where I would go for that. It's very.
Got to go to the home of golf.
Yeah, it's very. I mean, they're right next to each other. It's very similar, but it seems like for the people that have attended and been to Scotland before, it'd be nice. I also saw, I guess Keegan Bradley is going to be the Ryder Cup captain.
Not sure he wanted to be, but he is.
Yeah, we'll get into some thoughts on that. I listened to the press conference yesterday of him, about 40 minutes or so, and we'll touch on that a little bit.
You listened to 40 minutes of that?
I just clicked his answers and stuff, but he touched on a few things. Beth played black. I have I'm not going, but I have a group of friends. It just falls. You always talk about this. It falls at a terrible time for us. It's the end of September, and that's right in the midst of like the beginning of football season for us. But
that's a bucket list deal for me. When my days of doing this are over, that will be one of the things I go do.
He played at St. John, so he's very familiar with the course, which is kind of cool for him.
You think that might be part of why they chose him?
Yeah, but I think it's just listening to him and him talk about possibly including some live golfers and kind of the philosophy that he has and what they'll do moving forward is something I'm at least monitoring. It's not till next year. It's not this September, but next September. But something I'm keeping an eye on.
All right, so what's your beef? It's a What's Your Beef Wednesday, brought to you by Richards Country Meat Market in Fayetteville. What's kind of gotten under your collar? What's bothering you in sports this week? We'll take your calls and text on that. Richards Country Meat Market in Fayetteville. No other meat market is in the same league when it comes to the selection, the quality, the value of what you're going to find at Richards. It's one of my favorite stops. Anytime I'm on that part of college, you got to whip in there and see what's going on. For the best meat in town, visit Richards Country Meat Market or online at richardscountrymeatmarket.com.
We've also got a fantastic interview coming up at 7 o'clock with former Razorback and legend Oliver Miller. Oliver's currently in Phoenix right now. And let me tell you, this is going to be, I think, a really good conversation. If you don't have time to listen at 7, you need to listen post-conversation on either our Bud Light Morning Rush podcast or on hitthatline.com. I guarantee it'll be worth the wait. The Big O, again, he is going into the Southwest Conference Hall of Fame as of this August. He's in it, but he's formally inducted this August in Waco, Texas, of all places. So I have not been there. But I'm planning on going to Waco at some point for a game this next season. So maybe I'll stop by and see where his new shrine is going to be.
And when I was a young teenager, he was one of my heroes. And I'm glad we're talking to him. I want to ask him because he was amongst the last guys to get to play in Barnhill. So it's going to be a fun conversation a little bit later this morning. Hey, let me tell you about the Rebel Crick Hopper. Summertime in Arkansas means you've taken the kids and the grandkids probably to the pond or maybe doing some creek fishing. Nothing catches bass and bluegill in a pond like a Rebel Crick Hopper. You can twitch it, pop it, walk it, swim it. It's the ultralight fishing lure that looks and acts like a real grasshopper. The Crick Hopper works great in tandem with a light spinning rod and reel. 4 or 6-pound line works great with the kids as well. Find it at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores everywhere. It's the Rebel Crick Hopper.
All right, we'll jump into our beefs when we return on What's Your Beef Wednesday.
I'm a hugger.
Through and through?
Yep.
I never get a hug from you. What's that about?
I'm selective with them.
You're listening to the Morning Rush.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Vegas, baby! Vegas, baby!
This is the Morning Rush.
This video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations. Call or text the McLarty Daniel hotline at 877-377-6963. McLarty Daniel, a vehicle for every lifestyle.
When you're looking for a new car, you want to shop for a vehicle you love with an organization you trust. You've probably heard that McLarty Daniel means making deals, but what I'm inspired by the most is that McLarty Daniel means making a difference in our community. When you buy a vehicle with McLarty Daniel, you reinvest right here in the community, in our schools, in our little leagues, in our food banks, and our people. So you're not just making a purchase, you're making a difference too. Come see us at any of our 6 locations in Northwest Arkansas.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite. White perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is your number one source for all your sports betting needs this season. From baseball, golf, soccer, right to all the top fights in UFC, MMA, and boxing. Every stat, every matchup, and even live odds and spreads while the games are being played. When the game's over, head over to our online casino and get in on a game of blackjack or poker or unwind with one of our over 150 slots games. Head to the website today to get in on the action. Use promo code BELIEVE for your 50% free bet credit on your first deposit up to $250. Bet online. The game starts here.
This song hit number 2 without one guitar. Gary Wright traveled with George Harrison to India for spiritual enlightenment and wrote Dream Weaver, describing God as infinite love and compassion, seeing him through the trials of the night. Of the 330 million gods of Hinduism, not one will get you to the morning light, but only through the blood of Jesus Christ. Satan is a master deceiver, weaving many into make-believers. I'm Pastor Heath from Woodland. Think about it.
Hey, ESPN 96.3 and hitthatline.com. Have you been to Swark Liquor? Trey Gentry and his team have a phenomenal spot. It's the first liquor stop in Arkansas for our Dallas and Texas fans traveling up to the hill. So if you're heading to Fayetteville, the lake, a cabin weekend, hunting, fishing, or any other activity you need your favorite drink, stop by Swark Liquor. And check out their apparel too. You'll want to wear it. Swark Liquor, 864 East Collin Ray Drive in Queen, Arkansas. Swark Liquor, we promise to keep them cold for you. Are you ready to give your family the best 4th of July experience yet? USA Fireworks wants to make that happen with the USA Fireworks Bangin' Giveaway. USA Fireworks has helped Arkansans more than 30 years. Go to hitthatline.com/USA Fireworks and enter for your chance to win a fireworks show worth $2,000 retail. Again, hitthatline.com/USA Fireworks. For more information about wholesale prices, go to usafireworks.org.
This video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. Favorite podcasts in one place, the Hit That Line Podcast Network. Just search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts.
All right, so let's get into some beefs here on a What's Your Beef Wednesday. Some of you have heard of the name Cooper Flagg. He is an upcoming Duke Blue Devil. He was the #1 player in this past class. He's a really, really talented basketball player. Currently, he's competing against Team USA and playing against guys like Anthony Davis and LeBron and some of the other outstanding NBA players. He's actually doing a pretty good job. I listened to Matt and Phil talking about it a little bit on halftime. I've watched some highlights here and there. I already hate this guy, though. Don't even know anything about him other than a few, like, just treetop stuff. But I already hate him. He's a Duke Blue Devil. That's just how it is. We'll tell you about that coming up here on a What's Your Beef Wednesday.
All right, we'll get to that in just a second. Hey, do you want to win the football trip of a lifetime for the 19th year? We're giving away a great football experience with Hardee's and ESPN Arkansas. This time it's to see the Cowboys and the Eagles. You talk about two teams that don't like each other. You got it right there. Game's November the 10th in Arlington at AT&T Stadium. If you could eat a Monster Burger in 150 seconds or less, you qualify for the finals, and we'll find out who can eat the most Monster Burgers this year with ESPN Arkansas and Hardee's. So get by and see us very soon. We'll give you more details right here on the Morning Rush, Halftime, and Ruskin and Zach. Follow our social media pages and get ready for the football trip of a lifetime. Again, brought to you by Hardee's, ESPN Arkansas, and hitthatline.com.
What's Your Beef Wednesday on the Morning Rush is brought to you by Richard's Country Meat Market in Fayetteville. No other meat market is in the same league when it comes to the selection, quality, and value you get from Richard's.
Oh, God, it's so good. So good and tasty.
1 block east of College and Rolling Hills Drive at 3042 North Market Avenue. Online at richardscountrymeatmarket.com.
Chris has a beef this morning. He just texted me. No one gives a bleep about y'all's white rich man's golf BS. Oh, Chris, man. One of these days you're going to text
we are white. The rich man part I don't think holds up. But
one of these days you'll text in something positive. One of these days.
Chris is, he always wakes up on the wrong side of the bed.
He is happy that we are on the video stream, which you can always watch on Facebook, X, Twitch, and YouTube as well. So, and at least we have that going for us. Maybe Chris will text something in positive about that. Elmer,
I'm gonna take it Chris isn't a golfer.
Yeah. Elmer, his beef this morning is in a 5-year, 10-year, Sam Pittman will have made over $30 million and has only given you one decent season. Does $30 million for one 9-win season sound like a good deal? If you compare that, I'm just looking at this from a SEC coach's standpoint.
All right.
He's one of the lower paid coaches in the league. But I also understand where he's coming from, where it is frustrating that Arkansas football took a decent step back last year. You felt like 2 years ago you could have had a better season, but 3 years ago was great. I mean, 2021 was fantastic. #1 baseball team in the country, Elite Eight for the first time in a while, and you had a football team that won 9 games.
What should the coach that has the fewest wins in the worst season? What should that coach make? In the SEC, 1 through 16. What should number 16 be in this league per season?
$3-4 million.
Okay, and that's when Saban came in. 4 was top.
Yeah,
I hear what you say. So in Tommy Kraft's perfect world, each school throws in $6 million, let's just say, into the pot. 6 million times 16. What's the math on that? You got the calculator in your hand. And then we do it like a golf tournament. All right. SEC championship coach gets $15 million. $96 million, right? League's going to kick in another 4. We got $100 million in the pot for the coaches. SEC championship coach gets $15 million or whatever it is. Runner-up's going to get 10. And then we work our way down till you get to number 16 and you get bologna sandwiches and hot dogs from Ballpark for a year or whatever. You work it down, and that guy gets $2.5 million at the bottom, which might be a raise for Clark Lee. I don't know. But you talk about making things interesting. Now, that's pie in the sky, not going to happen. But what if college sports work that way? We have kind of moved in a semi-direction with players. Do you think better players get more money in the NIL based on their results? Well, of course. So why wouldn't coaches sign? Now, they'd all tell you publicly, yeah, we do this. But none of them would privately, because they want the guaranteed contracts and the buyouts.
Mm-hmm.
But don't you think their habits and their behavior might change if, hey, you're gonna eat what you kill year to year. You're gonna get paid by the win.
I would hope so, but I tend to think, and not every coach is the same, but there is such a competitive. I think we're competitive as radio people. We try and put on the best show each and every morning. I think as a program director and you as the market manager try to put on the best possible collection of shows and broadcasting stuff. But I don't think we understand how competitive it is in that industry, particularly at the college level. And some guys let go of the rope per se, but I just don't. I don't know how much that would change their habits.
Here's the reality, though. It's not an even playing field. Is Georgia got built-in advantages over many other schools?
45 minutes from Atlanta.
So, the reality is Sam Pittman's not fighting with the same toolbox that Kirby Smart is. And Sam's not alone in that fight. There's geography, there's recruiting bases, there's a lot of things that go into it. I just wish more sports were like this. Not just college football, not just the SEC, but, golf's about one of the few places where the winner gets the bigger chunk of the pie.
Yeah.
And the further down you go. I'm just saying there should be something, I guess NASCAR's kind of that way.
Mm-hmm. Individual sports, a lot of times, you shoot or you eat what you kill,
right.
Like you're saying.
And I know it's a team sport, but I'm just saying people get fed up just like Elmer, who sends us his beef, $30 million, won 9-win season. I hear you, Elmer. I understand you. All I'm saying is let's take all that money and, schools could budget then. All right, for some that'd be good, some that'd be bad. Most that would be a discount.
Mm-hmm.
Georgia's paying their coach more than whatever you'd have to throw in the pot.
Yeah.
So, we said $6 million hypothetical. I'm just saying I like working on commission. I like commission.
It's the greatest word in the English language.
No base salaries. I'll sign you up.
No, not that far.
No base salaries. You eat what you kill. I'm telling you, people's habits change. People's sense of urgency change. When they know that, hey, if I don't get up and advance the ball today, I'm going to have trouble buying my 6 items at the grocery store for $150 next week.
Yeah.
So, that's the reality is if we were in a true meritocracy, that's how it'd be done. But, college sports isn't a meritocracy.
I'll tell you what, if you want to put Ruskin and Zach on that commission-only plan, you can do that.
Well, I think they believe in themselves enough they'd sign up for that.
We'll find out. Let's see. Put it on the line, Phil.
What I'm hearing is you don't believe in yourself.
No, not at all. Not at all.
You want a safety net.
I do want a safety net.
You want a buyout in your contract.
Commission's great when it's accompanied by a base salary.
Well, that's not how life really works. So, all right, What's Your Beef Wednesday brought to you by Richards Country Meat Market. Find them in Fayetteville and online at richardscountrymeatmarket.com.
All right, so we'll get into more of your beefs coming up. When we return, though, Mike Gundy had some very interesting comments following Ollie Gordon's arrest. And he says whatever he wants. He does whatever he wants. But this was funny yesterday. If you haven't heard it, I guarantee you want to. Stay with us. Again, What's Your Beef Wednesday? Mike Gundy's comments coming at you.
I've just had the Rocky Mountain oysters, the bowl, you-know-whats. I don't think that's too nuts. I didn't mean to say that.
Well played. Accidentally. That's an accidental pun.
You're listening to The Morning Rush.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
WT Equipment is your home for New Holland ag and construction equipment, sales, parts, and service. For high horsepower row crop tractors and combines, utility tractors and hay equipment, compact track loaders, and mini excavators. WT Equipment has it all. Stop by one of their 8 locations to explore the value of New Holland tractors and see why New Holland hay equipment and twin rotor combines are second to none in harvesting ability. Need to upgrade your construction equipment fleet? Give WT Equipment a call. Come by a store or check out their website, WTEquip.com.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Hey, this is Taylor Green, Arkansas quarterback, and you're listening to the Morning Rush.
Hi, everybody. Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center with the exciting news. Backed by popular demand, state sales tax paid when you trade on our huge inventory of road-ready certified vehicles. That's right. This month, get the best used car your money can buy, road-ready certified with warranty, and get your state sales tax paid when you trade. One more reason all the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, just north of Phoenix on Towson, Fort Smith.
Are you ready to indulge in an unforgettable fine dining experience? Then come join us at Uncorked, where every meal is a masterpiece, crafted with the finest ingredients to tantalize your taste buds. And with our extensive selection of cocktails, wine, craft beer, and bourbons, we've got something for everyone. So why not take a break from the ordinary and join us on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodi's? Come savor the moment with us at Uncorked, where every visit is a celebration.
This is Daryl Johnston with Hashtag Managed IT Services. We are excited to now be part of AAA Business Systems. Hashtag will continue to handle every IT need your business will have, and now, as part of AAA Business Systems, we can handle all of your document printing and storage solutions. Together, we have the expertise to meet all of your office technology needs. Find us online at aaabm.com or call us at 471-1771.
Patriot Transport wants to thank their drivers for their hard work and dedication. The local and over-the-road drivers are essential to the Patriot Transport mission. Day in and day out, Patriot Transport drivers are on the road striving for safety and success. To the behind-the-scenes dispatch and office employees, Patriot Transport thanks them as well for the hard work they put in day and night. If you want to be a part of the Patriot Transport family, visit patriottransport.com. Patriot Transport is located in Danville, Arkansas.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Hey, this is Ty Richardson for Jake Neal and his team at Jerry Neal's Barbecue. Jake's dad, Jerry, started cooking barbecue at Jerry Neal's in 1977, and Jake took over and has been doing the same thing ever since. I got ribs the last time I was there. Woo! Man, they were good. Don't forget about the catfish either. It's cooked to order, so it's hot and fresh every single time. The best catfish in the River Valley. Jerry Neal's Barbecue, Catfish, and Catering, 1823 Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith.
Are you ready to work for one of the area's premier companies? If so, Forsgren wants to offer you a rewarding new career. Forsgren has been building the foundation of the River Valley for over 80 years. Forsgren is recruiting for experienced concrete finishers, equipment operators, truck drivers, and laborers. Forsgren is a destination point for men and women with a drive toward excellence. Join the Forsgren legacy. Apply now on any device, anywhere at goforsgren.com. That's goforsgren.com. Forsgren Incorporated is an equal opportunity employer.
Summer is here and adventure is calling. Visit Southern Tire Mart for a new set of Yokohama tires to get your vehicle ready for summer travels. Southern Tire Mart is your trusted partner for top quality tires, professional services, and competitive pricing. Visit us in Fort Smith at 9700 Highway 271 and let Southern Tire Mart ensure your vehicle is ready for the open road. Southern Tire Mart is a proud dealer of Yokohama tires. We keep America rolling.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Good morning, Ken. I listen to you guys a lot. It's still the same good show it's always been. I appreciate it.
Second and 12 for Round. 6 minutes intercepted again. Greg Morgan comes up with another pick inside the 10. Touchdown, Arkansas.
Are you kidding me? He's playing with one arm.
Subscribe to the Bud Light Morning Rush podcast. Go to hitthatline.com or search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts. Don't forget to rate, review, and share.
So Mike Gundy's an interesting guy, right? You got to play him in week 2 in Stillwater, Oklahoma at Boone Pickens Stadium. We had Coach Pat Jones on earlier. We're going to get into some of what he said about that game and the level of importance coming up. But before we do, for those that don't know, their star running back, Ollie Gordon, was arrested and charged with a DUI. Under 21, it's a little above the legal limit of .08. I think he blew up .0 or .10 and then a .11.
Which is way above the under 21 limit.
Yes. I think it's
Which is what, 0.02?
Yeah, something like that. And
5 times the legal limit.
And of course, at Big 12 Media Days, Gundy gets asked about that. We'll play some of his comments coming up for you here on the Morning Rush.
All right, brought to you by the Hickey and Hull Law Partners. If you find yourself in a situation like that, you need representation, for a criminal matter or a civil matter or a family law matter. Kevin Hickey and Brad Hull and their team have over 7 decades of combined experience to aggressively and properly represent you from your corner. You need a group of attorneys and an office filled with attorneys that know the system, know the people involved, and know how to make it work. The conversations and the relationships and knowing how things go in that particular district or county are paramount to you coming out as well as you can when you find yourself in a tough situation, whether it be criminal or, listen, family law matters are, impact your life, more so than, maybe even a criminal matter can at some point, depending on the situation. Let Brad or Kevin or their team go to work for you. 4 locations, Mena, Little Rock, Fort Smith, and Northwest Arkansas. So there's a location nearby to help you. One convenient number to set up your first visit, 479-434-2414, 479-434-2414, or go to kevinhickeylaw.com.
So here is his answer initially, and then we'll allow Coach to explain in just a bit. But first, here's his answer.
So I looked it up on my phone. What would be the legal limit? Like in Oklahoma is .08, and Ollie was .1. So I looked it up, and it was based on body weight. Not to get into the legal side of it, but I thought really 2 or 3 beers or 4. I'm not justifying what Ollie did. I'm telling you what decision I made. Well, I thought I've probably done that 1,000 times in my life. And it's just fine. So I got lucky. People get lucky. Ollie made a decision that he wished he could have done better. But when I talked to Ollie, I told him, you're lucky you got out light because you make a lot of money to play football.
And you mentioned the important part. He's not 21 yet.
He's not 21, so there's not just, listen, let's not be naive and act like, any one of us waited till we were 21 to have our first beer. But, the laws are different for those that are underage because there's laws against drinking underage. Now, that's a different discussion. And Coach says he's not trying to justify what he did. I think he's trying to justify to a bit, but, he's empathizing. He's looking at it from the player's perspective. And if it was our kid or someone near or dear to us involved in this, we might be talking the same way Coach is talking here. But he's not. He's on the football team that we're going to play in the second game of the year. And, we have a different perspective than what Mike Gundy's going to have for that very reason.
Yeah.
What if he was an Arkansas player and not an Oklahoma State player? Your viewpoint would be different.
Yeah, he's not suspended for, I think, is it South Alabama? I can't remember who they play week 1, but he will not be suspended for the Arkansas game, which I was jokingly advocating for earlier this week. I think the thing for me, one, I always do a beer an hour. If I have more than a beer an hour, I'm catching an Uber, I'm riding home. I will say I'm horrible. I'm horrible. If someone else is driving, I don't care how much they've had to drink. I'm bad about that. But I will not get behind the wheel if I've been drinking.
Well, I just don't go out anymore.
Stay at the house. It's easier.
Or if I do, I don't drive. Period.
No, that's probably the proper way to do it. But here's what I take from Gundy's comments, and he can slice it any way he wants. But for me, all it is I think he tried to take a little heat off his star player and put it on himself.
That's what a coach does. Now, that's not always the proper response, and this is a criminal matter. This is a legal matter. And there, I promise you, mothers against drunk driving probably don't approve of the way Mike Gundy handled this. But I do respect and appreciate he's trying to get his players back, and he's walking a fine line here. I do respect the fact of what he's trying to do, but I think you've got to, pick and choose your moments. And he deflected a little bit upon himself, which probably isn't a good look either.
So New Orleans texted in from B in Clarksville. The drinking age used to be 18. Scotland is 16, where you're trying to plan that trip. So it just depends on where you grow up, I guess, for about funny text from BE this morning.
I drank a beer with my dad before I was 21. I wasn't behind the wheel of a car either. I mean, it's how you're raised and all that. But we're getting off the matter here. The matter's, the reality is he's not 21. I know in Arkansas the legal limit is .02 if you're underage and you're charged with a DUI. And I don't know what I assume the Oklahoma law is similar. Listen, it's not the end of his life. It's not the end of the world. It's not going to ruin his football career. He's created a challenge for himself. And I think, I still like to see coaches, even if it was an Arkansas player, take a little harder stance and a harder line. I don't think you've got to kick someone off the team. And that's always the response of the hardliners is, he shouldn't be on the team anymore. Well, I think there's there's a bigger life consequence to that maybe isn't, quite equitable to where the crime and the punishment don't quite fit in that situation.
Was it, what was the old late Bobby Bowden line? It's like, he said something like, why would I pinch off or bite off something to my face? I've heard it.
Off your nose to
spite my face.
Spite your face?
Yeah, that's the line I was thinking. I've heard that before, but there are certain coaches that, again, have a little more leeway with guys. Nick Saban being one of them. Think about some of the guys that students at Alabama would go through, and they always play. Now, they'd run in practice, and coach kind of joked about, well, the punishment is always going to get the ball 50 times in that first game, which I'm all for it. Run him 50 times before he plays Arkansas, coach. Don't give him any breaks prior to that. But you
think running these guys is really punishment?
I don't know. My dad
they're in the best shape of their lives.
My dad always used to do the hot sauce on a spoon thing. When I said something potty mouth and I liked hot sauce, I never told him that until I got older, and he never did anymore, which is funny. So it just varies from individual. He did elaborate though a little bit and explain his actions a little more, not suspending his star running back.
We're in a time where you guys are essentially employees. You guys make lots of money to play this game. It's different than it was 5 years ago. And your punishment's going to be facing the facts. That's why we brought him here today. I said, you're not going into hiding. You're going to face the music. You're going to have to stand up and talk to people and answer questions. And hopefully, more than football, you can learn from the situation you've been in. Because if not, then we have a real issue. But he's going to play. And I'm going to do what we think is best for Oklahoma State football. And I think it's best for Ollie to play. If there's any punishment, it's make him carry the ball 50 times in the first game.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if that's punishment, but I like that part of his answer a lot better than I like the first one. What he's trying to, what I hear in there is, hey, Ollie needs to learn some humbleness and learn from this. I mean, it's a serious mistake. He talked about being lucky. I mean, the reality is no one got, to my knowledge on this story, no one got injured, hurt. There's no other parties were involved and had bodily or property damage or any of those things. That's the first thing that, you put yourself in a position to hurt yourself and others. But coach hit to the heart of it there. Gundy talked about it. You're an employee now. You're making a lot of money. That's how you discipline players today. He's right. It's different than it was 5 years ago. He's 100% accurate. So if you want to get their attention, coaches should have the authority to take away some of their NIL money. And I know this, if I was supporting and financially stroking a check to that program, that's what I would like to see if this ball lands. And listen, it could land in Sam Pittman's lap tonight. So let's not act like Arkansas is immune from something like this ever happening.
Yeah.
How would you want Sam Pittman to handle it? Well, I like the forthrightness that Gundy comes at it. Listen, you guys are making money. What have they been, stumping for and fighting for years? Not necessarily this one player, but as a body. That's to me how you maybe discipline players moving forward in the future. Is that legal? Can you set a mechanism for it? I don't know all the details, but that's the path you should go down.
So Ollie Gordon's going to be a part of a prolific Oklahoma State offense this upcoming season. We had Coach Pat Jones on yesterday, and he talked about that a little bit. He lives in Tulsa, does radio in Tulsa, has a relationship with that staff, gets to watch them practice. Here's what he said about Oklahoma State.
They've got an awful lot of kids that can run. They've got excellent team speed and quickness. He's got about everybody back. They got all their offensive linemen back. Now, they're not high-round draft choice guys, but they're tough veteran kids. Ollie Gordon, the back, led the country in rushing. Now, if he can act right here a little bit, that helps someone. But he's a good back. Alan Bowman, the quarterback, they bounced around early in the season trying to find a quarterback, settle on Bowman. He's transferred 2 or 3 times, but he's an older kid. Their skill, their outside skill is pretty good with the receiver core and everything else.
They do have a record and a history of starting slow, but with everyone they return, I don't know how if Arkansas was to somehow win this game in Stillwater, Oklahoma, against what I expect to be a Big 12 championship representative, I don't know how you win this game without scoring like 40 points. I can't. I mean, I guess offenses take a little more time to develop over the course of a season. I guess that's the perspective I could take. But I just don't know how you win without just going lights out on the offense.
And I was just thinking through again, re-listening to that part of our conversation with Pat Jones from yesterday. Oklahoma State's definitely in the conversation for Big 12 champion, right? Utah's going to be another one in there. I'm not sure. Those
are the main two.
Those are the main two I hear people talk about, and people like Phil Steele talking about. All right. So, what comes along with being the Big 12 champion?
What comes along? A college football playoff appearance,
guaranteed, right? Yeah. And maybe a home game, right? Maybe a bye.
Because if you win, you'll be
if you're one of the top four. Yeah, in these So, I think about this game, and I think about the motivation. And do you think beating an SEC team early in the year, even though it's not one of the, top half teams as we think of in Arkansas in the SEC, that's a big feather in the cap. So if you're Oklahoma State, you want to make the playoff, you want to plant your flag, maybe you be the one in the playoff and not Oklahoma. That'd be a big deal to them. They're not getting to play Oklahoma, so you play in Arkansas. This was prearranged before all of this realignment. But my point is, you talk about Oklahoma State starting slow. If I'm Gundy and I'm that staff, my message in August is, listen, this is, and they may have already delivered this message, huge opportunity to take a giant step forward in the rankings and the polls and put ourselves in a position at the end of the year to be a Big 12 champion and probably get a bye, perhaps through that first round of the college football playoff. This will be a big deal in that moment because it will affect the rankings. And as I understand it, correct me if I'm wrong, it's the 4 highest ranked conference champions that get that, because there's obviously going to be someone with a seat at the table that doesn't get that bye.
Mm-hmm. So
as the conference champion. So
it'll be the Big 12 because Pac-12 is
right. So I guess yeah, that's right. So the math will work out on that. But point is, you want to be 1 or you want to be 4? You want to be 2 or you want to be 3? A win over Arkansas would be a big deal, I think, on your resume if you're a Big 12 champion. And that would be my sell. Whether that's true or not, that'd be my line of thinking to that team is, hey, this is a huge game and could really go a long ways to hosting, or not hosting, to being the champion and getting that bye.
Gundy just has to worry about Ollie Gordon not transferring to Georgia. Like seemingly every other player with the Bulldogs has something issue off the field when it comes to a vehicle of some sort. Like Carson Beck got that Maserati or whatever it was, and I wonder if there will be a vehicle incident in Athens or Atlanta when it comes to. I mean, just to be blunt, if I was given an insanely fast vehicle at 18 to 22 years old, I'd be an idiot too.
They're not ready for it.
No.
Just because you're giving them a lot of money and the responsibility of being a big-time college football player doesn't mean they're mature enough to handle it.
And on the subject of vehicles, before we move on, Taylon Green was just gifted a vehicle from an auto dealership through Arkansas Edge, and I've seen people like mad that this is being showcased. And I heard Derek and Zach talking about it. I'm going to guess, I don't have the contract in front of me, but I'm going to guess that part of the stipulation for him getting that vehicle was that he had to post about it. And people are like mad he's doing it and saying it's like it's a fine balance, because as a sponsor or as a business owner, you want that kid publicizing what your product is. But at the same time, you don't want there to be a perception that that kid is living better off, which a lot of them are. Than we are. So I do, and people are ripping tailing yesterday, and I'm hearing Derek and Zach talk about it. And I'm just like, what do you want the kid to do?
Yeah.
Like,
but that's part of the problem. KJ Jefferson, strolling into the stadium in his Gucci shoes and, publicized and seen, what was it, a Corvette or whatever he had, a flashy sports car. You're right. You want these things and these toys, and you want sponsors and people to give you either in-kind donation or cash. These are the things that happen. But,
yeah,
you can't flash it around, because when you're going to the common guy like me or you or all of our friends listening this morning that, hey, give us $50 a month. You want me to give you $50 a month so they can drive a sports car? I don't know how to answer the question from the university side and the NIL Edge side, but okay, we'll give you the $50. I don't want to know. I don't want it shoved in my face.
Yeah.
What these guys are using the money for, because it to me feels irresponsible.
Here's what I would say is the great equalizer, and it's just like it is in recruiting. It's winning. Like Marvin Harrison was wearing this, I don't know if it's 100,000, 50,000, whatever, watch while he was playing games or practicing or whatever.
Oh.
It's the best wide receiver in college football. And there's
his financial background's a little different than most.
Yeah, but the reason I'm bringing that up is because their Ohio State fans weren't mad at him because he was like, I think he won the Blitnikoff, best wide receiver in college football last year. You're not frustrated by it. And for like the basketball program,
in his case, I just say, well, his dad bought it for him.
Yeah.
I would. In his case, I think I justify it in my mind, whether it's true or not, a little different.
But another example would be like John L. Davis coming over from FAU. There are reports out there, don't know if they're true or not, that to get him here, it exceeded $1 million. And no one is going to, let's say John L. posts something that he bought or something on social media that he did, and it's pretty excessive, and the majority of us, because we're not in that salary cap, can afford it to do it, buy it, or whatever.
Right?
What? And not to
maybe
my
getting the money, but let's not say he's done something he hadn't done.
But what I'm saying is that he just came to mind because I feel like that was the fact, it's not fact. That was the figure that was reported when him.
I think you're right on that part.
If the reason I bring him up is, let's say Arkansas has a ton of success, they make it to a Final Four or something, he posts something crazy or whatever. I don't think Arkansas fans will care because of the success that accompanied it. People only seem to care when there's failure, you feel like you're not getting what you paid for when it comes to NIL. That's my understanding.
But John L. hasn't posted anything.
No. But that he's just
clear about that.
He's just the basketball player that I thought about. And Taylor,
you're right. To borrow the phrase that Derek Ruskin turns so off. Winning is the great cologne, the great deodorant that covers up the nasty stench that sometimes comes along with college athletics, particularly in today's time. So, winning covers up a lot of what we right now just want to hold our nose and look at. Because it's exactly what you said. You're asking me, common fan, sitting in section 503, because I can't afford to sit in section 103, to give $50 a month?
Yeah.
And then I'm seeing him drive around in sports cars? I mean, this is not just an Arkansas issue, but it's magnified when you're not winning at a level you feel like, because that's the only return on investment we get. I put $50 or $100 a month or whatever in. This isn't a mutual fund. I'm not going to get a dividend check. The only dividend I'm ever going to get is the pleasure of watching my team win. That's the only dividend.
And I mean, you and me right now would both invest $50 if it meant that Arkansas football would win 9 games this year a month. I would pay $50. It's true,
to win
but
what?
It's 9 games.
No, 9. I thought you said night games.
So if they won 9,
I would like to win some night games because you're playing LSU at night, but 9 games. I got you.
You said, Ty, you got to invest.
You told me,
$600 over the course of a year. Arkansas wins 9. All right, where I signed, but
dude, if they said $100 a month and you'd win 9,
yeah,
we'd do it.
Like that.
Even if it wasn't guaranteed.
I'd expense it,
of
but
course, because that's just exactly how life works. But hey, there's a lot of us, listening this morning that we would find $100 a month in the budget. if there was a high probability of winning 9 games, but that's not reality. But the reality is that's the only dividend you're ever going to get when it comes to any of these ways they're trying to fund all this. That's why revenue sharing in the new model, and listening to Sankey next week speak on this, I presume, in his kind of State of the Union address for the SEC is really piqued my interest next week at SEC Media Days. Hey, let me quickly tell you about Oaklawn Sports. It's Arkansas's favorite sports betting app. Sign up today and qualify for second chance betting on your very first bet. So what you do is you create your account, you make your deposit, which is easy now with debit and credit cards, PayPal, Apple Pay, Venmo, ACH. If you're at Oaklawn and Hot Springs, cash in or out of your account is easy on site. You create the account, you make the deposit like I just said, make your very first bet of at least $10 up to $250. And if that bet doesn't pan out for you, they'll give you a second chance bet of equal value up to $250. Arkansas's best sports betting app. Bet with a brand you trust. Bet with Oaklawn Sports.
Let's talk to JR on the hotline. If you want to jump in, 877-377-6963. JR, what's going on this morning, man?
Hey, guys. How y'all doing?
Good, buddy.
Good. Hey, you know what? What really leaves a bad taste in fans across the board in college athletics, college sports, is the fact that these kids are not contractually held to any of this NIL money. I mean, they don't even have to take a step out on the court or the field to get it. I mean, and it's insulting that these universities expect people to donate money to something that does not guarantee anybody staying. I mean, that's the whole, it'd be different if they had a contractual agreement. Okay, you got a year, 2 years, whatever might be the case, but there's nothing there to solidify anything whenever you donate, to a particular, whichever sport you're going to donate to. So
this isn't a mutual fund. This is not a mutual fund. This is charity.
Just think about it. If you break it down, I mean, it's crazy that you would donate to something where there's no guarantee that kid even going to step foot on the field. I mean, that's crazy to me. So anyway, y'all have a good day.
Yeah, thanks, you, JR. You may give money to the Salvation Army, and you hope that money is always well spent, but or some other donate. But that's why when you give money to a charity, and I'm not saying the Edge Fund's a charity necessarily, but sometimes you read about different organizations that don't spend your money the way you thought it was going to be spent once you donate. That's why you got to do your homework and do your research.
I was going to say there's a website, and I'm forgetting the one for the charities that list out exactly how things are spent.
How's the money spent? How much of it's spent on administration? How much of it goes to the cause? So, I mean, that's why you have to vet these things out. Listen, you're throwing money at it and hoping that things work out, and the only dividend you're going to ever get is the joy of watching your team hopefully win. And when they don't, you feel like you've wasted your money. Hey, speaking of money, if you'd like a great job with great pay, APAC Arcola is hiring right now in a variety of positions, not just licensed CDL drivers, but heavy equipment operators, concrete finishers, diesel mechanics. If you've got experience with concrete or asphalt, they need people with experience to go to work right now. Go to jobs.crh.com, top pay, great benefits, retirement and profit sharing. That's jobs.crh.com. APAC is an equal opportunity employer.
The selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
WT Equipment is your home for New Holland ag and construction equipment, sales, parts, and service. For high horsepower row crop tractors and combines, utility tractors and hay equipment, compact track loaders, and mini excavators. WT Equipment has it all. Stop by one of their 8 locations to explore the value of New Holland tractors and see why New Holland hay equipment and twin rotor combines are second to none in harvesting ability. Need to upgrade your construction equipment fleet? Give WT Equipment a call. Come by a store or check out their website, WTEquip.com.
Apex Central in Northwest Arkansas is hosting a job fair February 28th from 9 till 2 at the Apex Sharps Asphalt Plant. Take the Wagon Wheel Road exit off I-49 and go to 13585 Puffy Creek Road. APAC offers great pay. Benefits that include insurance, retirement, and profit sharing. It's the Apex Central Job Fair February 28th from 9 till 2 at the Sharps Asphalt Plant, 13585 Puffy Creek Road in Springdale. Job offers for select positions will be made on the spot. APAC Central is an equal opportunity employer. Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
This is the Morning Rush.
Calling all biscuit lovers. Hardee's limited edition blueberry biscuits are the stuff of biscuit dreams. Our famous buttermilk biscuits with summer's favorite berries baked in, served warm, and drizzled with icing. Don't miss your chance to try this special summertime treat while blueberry biscuits are still in season and ripe for the picking. Only at Hardee's. Goodness in the making. Order ahead on the Hardee's app. Participation may vary. Exclusions apply by time of day.
The Wave Rural Connect Shoal Creek Zone is open. Fast fiber internet, TV, and home phone available. This covers Midway, New Blaine, Scranton, Delaware, and other areas. Even if this isn't your zone, check your address. We might be available for you. Get your whole home solution. Internet, TV, and phone from a local provider. Go to signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Finders is having a vacation sale. That's right. Take a vacation from payments for 90 days and a vacation from sales tax. This month, get your sales tax paid and no payments for 90 days. The lot is full with pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs with huge discounts. And right now, there's easy financing and all certified pre-owns come with a certified pre-owned warranty. Your search ends at Auto Finders in Roland. Financing for all types of credit. Check out the boats and ATVs too. Auto Finders, Highway 64 in Roland or AutoFindersOK.com. Your search ends here.
I know we're always on the go, heading to Fayetteville, Little Rock, Oklahoma City, and you need a place to fill up. But not just for gas. I need snacks, drinks, and a restroom that doesn't make me throw up. That's why my new favorite pit stop is Jam Mart number 10, located at 6201 Grand Avenue on the way out of town. I can't stop by without getting something from their hot box or a fresh made burger. That's Jam Mart number 10, located at 6201 Grand Avenue in Fort Smith.
This is Bruce Stanton, Vice President and General Manager of Pradco Fishing in Fort Smith. Our number one volume lure out of our 20 fishing brands is the Bobby Garland Baby Shad. We make them by the millions in our facility in Fort Smith, and the Baby Shad is without a doubt the number one soft plastic crappie lure in the U.S. Fish it on a light jig head or underneath a float, and you'll find it's as productive as live bait. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place. The Bobby Garland Baby Shad.
Are you an angler having trouble finding all the bait, tackle, and more for your fishing needs? Make a Wake Bait and Tackle, now located in Fort Smith next to Witts Marine on North 11th Street is your place. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle also has the largest selection of plastics in the River Valley. Reactor Innovation, Bobby Garland, Zoom, Mega Bass, and more. Check out the Daiwa Rod and Reels. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle, 803 North 11th Street in Fort Smith, 479-926-9320. Also get your rod and reels repaired. Come see us next to Witts Marine at Make a Wake Bait and Tackle.
Sometimes I'm in a hurry. Stay in the slow lane, buddy. That's when I use the Sodies app to order my favorites and pick up in their drive-thru. They even offer a 10% discount on your first app order. Experience different at Sodies Wine and Spirits off I-540 on Phoenix Avenue.
Every day is worth celebrating at Uncorked. Cocktails, wine, craft beer, bourbons, and unbelievably great food. Uncorked on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodies.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, partly to mostly sunny skies are high this afternoon into the upper 80s. Clear skies, mid to upper 60s tonight, and then tomorrow, sunny skies. The high will be just over 90. Friday, plenty of sunshine, low 90s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by real estate agents Nick and Ellie Glidewell. Ready to serve.
KERX Paris Fort Smith. The Bud Light Countdown is on. Arkansas football begins in 50 days.
This hour of the Morning Rush is driven by Rath Mitsubishi in Springdale and online at rathmitsubishi.com. You're rolling with Rath on the Morning Rush.
Roads? Well, we don't need roads.
He's been around. He's seen a lot of things come and go. When you're kind of make or break year like Sam apparently is now, just put your head down and bore. Don't let that eat you up. Put your head down and go. See what happens. That's the only choice. And put your head down and bore. Sam's an offensive line coach by trade. That's kind of, they're grinders. Just grind. Just grind it out and see what will happen. There's so many things you can't control. Kid gets hurt. You turn the ball over at the wrong time. Some kind of thing like that, you can't control that. But you just still put your head down and grind.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden. You're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
Heard all across ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com.
Hit that line.
This is the Morning Rush with Ty Richardson, Tommy Kraft, and Chuck Barrett.
You're in need of a serious attitude adjustment, young man. You better get your priorities straight.
Produced by Christian Johnston.
In spite of the juvenile snickers of some, this is a serious matter.
Good morning, gentlemen. Let me rephrase that. You got two gentlemen. You got one ain't earned it yet, has he?
You don't need to wear a ball cap, man. You need to let those golden locks flow.
It's
All right, we welcome you back into hour number 2 of the Morning Rush. We've got a treat for you. A legend joins us momentarily. Oliver Miller, former Razorback, SEC legend, and as of August, he's going to be officially inducted to the Southwest Conference Hall of Fame. We'll talk to him coming up in just a bit.
One of my favorite players growing up as a kid was the Big O, Oliver Miller. Speaking of legendary, Will's RV is legendary for customer service. Will's RV is legendary for their selection of great brands like Grand Design, Forest River, and Brinkley. They've got many in stock right now. Lifetime warranty comes with every new RV they sell at Will's RV. They're easy to get to, just off I-49. Take the 412 exit in Springdale, go 5 miles. Will be in Tawnytown on your right. Not only will you have a great experience from the first time you drive on the lot at Will's RV, you'll also have a great experience during the process and then following up with that with any parts or service needs you have down the road. They've got every part of their dealership as an award-winning area. So if you need paint and body, they've got that. If you've bought there before, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you need parts, service, need something explained, and they do a great job of spending a couple hours with you going over every detail, every button, and giving you some real help if you're a first-time RVer especially. So get to Will's RV. It's the total package and the total experience. They care about you. They care about your experience and the memories you'll make with your new RV. Will's RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Will's RV.
Number 25, Oliver Miller. It's not short. Oliver Miller. And Lindsey Howell reaching in for a steal. Go with a power move.
Thank goodness for Oliver Miller. Without him, we wouldn't be packing our bags for a long summer vacation.
He is playing fantastic. He's the reason we won this series.
I got food on draft night, so I wanted to make sure I turned the booze into cheers. And I went out there and I busted my butt, and I think I gained a little after Mother's Day.
Fuller rolling around with the Big O.
Hey, this is Oliver Miller, former Arkansas Razorback, the Big O. You're listening to the Morning Rush. Woo! Big Suey, baby.
You know, so what's your beef Wednesday on the Morning Rush? But nothing to beef about with the guy that we're getting a chance to talk to now. It's Oliver Miller, the Big O, former Razorback, the all-time leader in Arkansas basketball and field goal percentage, top 10 in a bunch of other categories. Played in the NBA nearly a decade. Well, you're in Phoenix right now, man. You got your family down there where you made an impact initially as a rookie in the National Basketball Association. Playing a little golf, fishing a little bit?
I'm doing it all. Right now it's too hot to golf and fish, but once it cools down and I get my energy back, I'm going to be back out there.
What's the temperature like, Oliver, from living in Fort Worth to Fayetteville? And obviously you played a little bit in Phoenix, but now how hot does it get in Phoenix, Arizona?
Well, it's just the difference is the dry heat compared to humidity. You know, back in the South, in Arkansas and Texas, you got to take a shower at least every 15 minutes because you're going to go outside, come back inside real sticky and sweaty. I can deal with the dry heat a lot better than humidity.
Talking with Arkansas legend Oliver Miller, and now, as of beginning of August, going to be a Southwest Conference Hall of Fame official member. Oliver, my only question is, man, why did it take this long?
And your guess is good as mine. I just want to probably it's all God's timing. Whenever he's ready to do things, he does things in his way. But I'm just honored and privileged to be able to finally be inducted, even though the conference has been shut down for over, 30 years now. I'm honored.
Oliver, you mentioned the conference no longer existing. You were a part of a group that dominated at the tail end of the conference. You, Todd, Lee, and others. And then you guys just kind of sent a welcome message across the bow to not just Kentucky, but the rest of the SEC. What was that transition like for you guys 30-some-odd years ago?
It was a little bit tough transition, traveling to different environments, going to different cities to what we used to 3 years in a row, playing against, different talent. Like Coach always said, we all men, we put our pants on the same way. So just go out and do the things that we need to do and what we know we're capable of doing, and that's how we just approach the game.
Oliver's going to be officially inducted to the Southwest Conference Hall of Fame coming up this August. You mentioned Coach there. I know that anytime we have a former Nolan Richardson player on, we got to ask about Coach. What do you remember about what led you to play in Fayetteville, Arkansas?
Being from Texas, I really didn't want to stay in Texas because I knew that every weekend or every opportunity I have a chance to get home, I'd be at home. So I had my two last visits was Oklahoma once they got beat by Kansas in the national championship game. And right after I left from Oklahoma, went straight to Arkansas. But the biggest difference was, Arkansas made me feel at home right away. Even though it was during spring break, not too many students was on campus, but students that were there and the late Ron Hury, who was my host, and the late Larry Marks, they showed me around, and the few students that were there, they made me feel like I was already a part of the Razorbacks. Being that, being in SWC, that we would always be coming back to Texas to play, would give my mom and other family members the opportunity to always catch my game. So that was an easy decision for me. So that's why I chose Arkansas.
So you mentioned the aspect of your mom being able to watch a lot of your games being in Texas. With Texas and Oklahoma entering the league, A&M already being a part of it, is it going to be easier, in your opinion, for John Calipari to recruit Texas and Oklahoma kids like, say, it was when Nolan was recruiting you?
It's hard to say these days the way they pair with the NIL rules. So you never know. Texas is being close to Arkansas, so maybe easy, the way Coach Cal recruits. Hopefully he can get the right athletes in there, and I know he's known for the one-and-done players, but hopefully he can get a couple of guys that will be there for at least 2 or 3 years and get us back to being in the top 10s and going deep in the NCAA tournament and hopefully bring another national championship. He has a resume of doing things like that, and I just hope that, we just get some kids that will stay at least a couple of years. And the best thing about these things now, we don't have to worry about none of our records being broken because kids will never stand long enough to break them.
I mean, you got that record, again, all-time field goal percentage leader at Arkansas. You had a feathery touch. You were a great passer. You had a bunch of, again, top 10 categories. You mentioned Cal there, though, Oliver. I wonder your impressions. What do you think about Coach?
Coach is a good coach, so, it's yet to be seen, and seems like everybody's accepting him and ready for the season and see what he brings. So I just hope that everything goes smooth and, we just do what we need to do.
You mentioned some of the records maybe staying where they're at because guys are moving on and stuff. I think about you. I think about your teammate Lee Mayberry and Todd Day, the all-time leading scorer. I think about the guys prior to you, like Ron Brewer. We just had Sidney Moncrief on about a week ago. Marvin Delph, the guys that came after you, of course, Scotty and Corliss. Oliver, you're an Arkansas basketball legend. What could the university and the athletics department do better about incorporating and involving you guys in future years?
What I really want to see right now is Todd hanging up in the Raptors. That's long overdue. You know, he's an all-time leading scorer, and I don't think anybody's going to break that because they're not going to stick around. We got the all-time winning record with 4 years, and I don't think anybody's going to beat those records. So I just hope that, you know, it's just long overdue. I just want to see Todd number and Todd name hanging up in the Raptor with Sidney Moncrief and Corliss. That's my main. I just want to see that hopefully very soon.
You're not the only one, man. I know we've had listeners definitely petition and push for that when it comes to Arkansas basketball and really recognizing a legend. It's cool for you to, the first thing you mentioned is trying to help out a teammate because I know people have spoken so highly of you, not just at the college level, but the NBA levels. That's pretty cool. You mentioned Todd. I've referenced a few other guys you played with. You were part of a draft class in 92 that had 4 guys drafted, which is the most ever for Arkansas. Overall, your time in the NBA and with the Razorbacks, Oliver, did you have a favorite teammate?
I played with a lot of great guys. I keep in touch with them with my Toronto days. I keep in touch with Walt Williams, who we played against my freshman year against Maryland. I still keep in touch with Marcus Camby. A lot of these guys, you know, I just keep in touch with on and off. Damon Stoudemire, who's my rookie. But, you know, a lot of these guys are too busy right now to even think about small guys like me. But try to keep in touch and be good friends with most of the guys I play with. But mainly I just keep in touch with Todd and Lee. I know those are my brothers for life. And me and Todd, we always talk on and off a few times a month, and me and Lee talk sometimes on and off. But other than that, you know, those are my brothers. The Arkansas brothers are my brothers for life, mainly the Arkansas teammates.
We're talking again with a legend, Oliver Miller, better known to some as Big O. What's the origin of that nickname, man?
Well, when I was in high school, it started out as, you know, they started calling me Big O, but once I got to Arkansas, it just took over. Of course, of my size and my name began with Oliver, and my name started with O, and it just took off, and just accepted it. I feel like Oliver was a little nerdy name anyway, so I prefer being called O or Big O anyway, so I just accepted it and loved it. I just always felt like, you know, because kids used to make fun of Oliver North or Oliver Twist, and I'm like, ugh. So I just started accepting being called Big O or O.
My middle name's Franklin. I can understand where you're coming from a nerdy standpoint. I always thought about the Franklin cartoon TV show of the turtle. I was never a big fan of my middle name. There's so many memories. I mean, we could talk about all the success you guys had in the Southwest Conference, Reunion Arena. People listening to you right now they're going back 30 years, which is awesome. I think about a play you had on Shaquille O'Neal, one of the greatest centers of all time. You blocked him, guys go to OT, you beat Dale Brown and company. What do you remember about that game and just how it played out?
Well, it was real challenging because, you know, Shaquille O'Neal and one of the all-time centers that I played against, and also Dale Brown, they wanted to accept us coming over and winning the conference. So we had to go through those guys, and it was a real tough challenge. If you know, just look back through my career, I've always accepted the challenges. When I had to go against Arizona, they had 3 7-footers, and had to go against UNLV, and had to go against the Dukes, and, you know, all those guys. I just always accepted the challenges because that's just the mentality Coach put in us. Never back down for nobody, and always put your best foot forward and play your game. And, you know, I stuck with the game plan and had faith in what Coach wanted us to do, had faith in my teammates, and, you know, I knew and it was going to be a tough challenge, but I always stepped up to the challenge, and I loved it.
And you had a challenge your rookie year, man. You guys are down 0-2. It's not looking good. Coach Westphal says, Oliver, you're up, man. I'm going to start playing you more. You guys get out of that hole against the Lakers, a miraculous run of the finals, you, Charles, and company, go up against the greatest basketball player of all time, take him to 6 games. Take us through that season, 93, your initial year, and then what it was like to go up against Michael Jeffrey Jordan on the biggest stage of your career.
Well, coming from a winning program, number 1 seed in the whole league that year, I didn't want to go down like that. I remember a preseason game, and I don't know if it was Detroit or whoever we played. I made a comment, and I was like, I could see a parade in the future, and they was like, hold on, rookie. We got a long season to go. Once we faced the Lakers and we down 0-2, and, you know, they always say, stay ready. You never know when your name is called. And Paul had faith in me, and I was just a fighter. I didn't want to go down like that. And I just did everything I could to help the team get out of 0-2 and to get back to where we need to get to. And, you know, we made it to the finals, even though we lost against the best player, the GOAT. It was just real. It was a real experience. I really enjoyed my rookie season because never expected. I always watched the finals and watched NBA, and to be able to experience it, and you know, they had all the champagne T-shirts and hats outside our locker room, and to see that and experience it, it was just real. It was just real experience for my for the beginning of my career, and I appreciate it. And next year we went to Western Conference Finals. We didn't make it out, but you know, I just really enjoyed it.
Yeah, going against Hakeem the Dream Olajuwon is quite a task. Not that facing Michael the year before wasn't, especially your position. That's not the easy.
Yeah, you know, that's, you know, I rank him as the #1 center of all time, and then I go Shaq because, you know, Hakeem Olajuwon was a 7-foot player, and he was a 3-man and a 5-man body. He was so quick and agile, and he had so many great moves. And, you know, anybody that played against would tell you that, you know, they rank him as one of the top centers of all time.
The dream champion.
And, you know, I learned a lot, you know, in my career because I played against a lot of the top 50 players that made the top 50. You know, Patrick Ewing, David Robinson, all those guys. I learned a lot playing against them. And, you know, and playing with Charles Barkley my rookie season, you know, I looked up to him he was my idol because, you know, he was going through pretty much the same thing I was going through. He was overweight, and he did a lot of things that a lot of people, you know, couldn't do.
You got any good Charles Barkley stories? Talking with Oliver Miller, by the way, Arkansas legend.
You can't discuss those over the interview, but you know, he was when he was on, and I can remember my second year, we were playing against Golden State, and Don Nelson didn't want to double team, and he had like 30 points in the first half, and I'm like, you know, are you serious? Because it was even hard to double team him and stop him because, you know, he just had the moves, and he's speedy, and he put that big butt to use and did what he had to do.
He was the round mound and rebound man, Joe Klein.
Yeah, that he was.
He's a teammate of yours, teammate of Joe Klein. A couple of Razorback connections that love them some Charles Barkley. Something that you guys had in common and what you're having to go through with the weight struggles. Oliver, I know for you, and I believe this is the first time you've ever shared publicly what you've had to go through recently. For our audience, again, Oliver mentioned he's in Phoenix. He's got family, kids, grandkids in the area. You've also been battling something of your own. Kind of share with what you've been having to go through lately.
Well, back in April, I was diagnosed with stage 3 stomach cancer. May 7th, I started my chemo treatment, and it was really aggressive treatment I had to go through. And by the grace of God, July 1st, my last chemo treatment, it worked. So, you know, this year has been a double accomplishment for me to get through this illness and to get inducted to the Southwest Conference. So, you know, that'd be part of my speech when I get there, to, you know, that, hey, I've overcome and I'm beating cancer, and, you know, I don't wish this upon nobody. Chemo, cancer, and no illness, because it's rough and it could take a big toll on your life. But when you have a good support system and you have strong faith and belief in God, you know, all things are possible, and, you know, I've overcome it. So right now, it's been a week that I've taken my last chemo treatment, and I'm doing pretty good. And, you know, of course, I lost weight, I lost hair, but, you know, I still look good, a little bald, but I'll be all right. I'm going to try my best to, you know, put some more weight on. I'm I'm down to 225 right now.
Wow.
My lowest I've been since high school. So I'm going to try to put on about 30, 40 more pounds and just move on from there and just, use my life as a testimony, because a lot of people don't get through it. But, like I said, by the grace of God and him keeping his healing hand over me has brought me through.
Can't think of a better way to end it than right there. Oliver Miller, SEC legend, Arkansas Razorback for life, Southwest Conference Hall of Famer, and as you just heard, a cancer survivor. Oliver, thank you so much for joining us this morning, man.
I appreciate you for having me and allowing me to share my story.
Got to be honest, of all the things that I expected to hear from the Big O, the last portion of our conversation, that kind of took me off guard a little bit. Luckily, as you just heard, he beat it as of July 1st. Big news for him, big news for his family, and probably the biggest portion of the interview, Tommy.
Well, and I remember reading that news when it came out, I don't know, 6 months ago or whenever that news is. And again, one of my heroes when I was a kid was the Big O. Loved his facial expressions during games. So, I mean, it'd be a sad day if things weren't working out. I'm so happy to hear him explain how the treatments have went and how well it's went, because what a great personality. What a great, and I still remember that young face playing LSU back in the day and that transition out of Barnhill. And I remember going to an Arkansas Bethune-Cookman game, and I didn't get it, but he was coming off the floor through one of those tunnels, and we were just hoping, as a kid, maybe get a high five or something. That's before you knew what a fist bump really was. And he threw some sweatbands and stuff off, and we were really? Like, those are the things that as a kid you remember. And he just interacted well with the fans, and one of my all-time favorites, and it was a great era as well for Arkansas basketball.
So there was a listener who had a patient that was the biggest Oliver Miller fan possible, and Caitlin just sent me this video of Oliver talking to one of her patients that was going through some stuff.
Hey, Johnny, what's up? This is Big O, 40 Minutes of Hell. You remember me? Hey, I heard you was a super fan. Just wanted to give you a shout out. Tell you how much we appreciate you. We love you. You're in our prayers. Keep it up, brother. We love you. Go Hogs.
So this is a guy that obviously has a deep, deep love for Razorback Nation, and happy to hear the best news, as B states on the hotline, the biggest rebound of his life, and awesome to hear the positive news when it comes to his cancer stuff.
All right, if you didn't catch that entire interview, you can find it on the Hit That Line Now app or at our website, hitthatline.com. We'll have that up for you, and you can enjoy our conversation, Ty's conversation, with the Big O, Oliver Miller, who's going into the Southwest Conference Hall of Fame. Hey, I want to tell you about Arkansas Golf and Power Sports. Summertime means golf. It also means kids going to the pool. If you live in a subdivision here in Northwest Arkansas where, carts in the neighborhood are common and you don't have one, or maybe you have one you like to upgrade or maybe personalize yours a bit more, turn to my friends at Arkansas Golf and Power Sports. That's where I went when I wanted my easy go-kart. They made it simple and easy, and they gave me exactly what I wanted. I wanted Razorbacks in the headrest, and they did some custom seats, and they could really come up with the color and the lights and the sound and everything that you want, whether you need a 4-seater to get around the neighborhood or, like I did, a 2-seater with where you can put golf bags on the back. They can make it work for you. It had the sound put in, and it's got lights on the front, so if I'm out after dark getting back to the house, it works great. So Arkansas Golf and Power Sports, friendly service. They got a small business approach, so you're not going to get lost in the shuffle. Go see Chris or Ben or the crew in Fayetteville. They're just off the Garland exit. They're on North McConnell, right next to the rental place in that retail shopping center. You'll see them there. You'll see the carts parked out front, and they'll get to work on customizing and finding you exactly what you need. That's Arkansas Golf and Power Sports. Fayetteville, also in Little Rock, and always online at arpowersports.com.
We got our Morning Rush daily question and more beefs when we return.
That had to be one of the funnest statements I've ever heard in my life. It's my copy out. It was a great bit. It was comedy gold.
You're listening to the Morning Rush.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
That's my hero who I want to be when I grow up.
This is the Morning Rush.
Riley Farm Dental at the entrance to Riley Farms provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. From general dentistry, braces, implants, and cosmetics. Dr. Sparkman, Davis, and Farmer give all of their patients better lives with a better smile, more confident, and a comfortable experience every time. Riley Farm Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A at the entrance to Riley Farms. Now offering same-day crowns. Call 226-3500 for an appointment or visit RileyFarmDental.com.
Dozy Place has now been serving award-winning steaks for over 20 years. Celebrate your special birthday, holiday, person, or just because at Dozy Place. Start with delicious appetizers and your choice of drinks from the largest selection of wines, beer, and liquor in the River Valley. Dozy Place is open Tuesday through Thursday 5 till 9 and Friday and Saturday 5 till 10. Reservations are recommended, so call 784-9111. 784-9111 for Dozy Place, 422 North 3rd Street, Fort Smith.
This is a public service announcement for hard seltzer lovers. Neutral Vodka Seltzer has arrived. Made with simple ingredients like vodka, seltzer, and real juice. Neutral tastes good. Like real good. So good that you'll never want to drink another artificial tasting seltzer again. Neutral's light and refreshing taste will show you what a vodka seltzer can be. Try Neutral, the one with the umlaut. Copyright 2023 Neutral Distilled Spirit Specialty, Los Angeles, California. Enjoy responsibly.
Stop by the Golf Nut today and check out the full line of lab putters featuring Lie-Angle balanced technology. Lab putters were used by 14% of professionals in the 2024 Masters Tournament. All models of the new Scotty Cameron Phantom putters are in stock, including the longer 38-inch model. Come discover the biggest selection of name brand clubs, apparel, and accessories in the region. The Golf Nut, 5121 Towson Avenue, your #1 golf shop for over 30 years.
If you knew all that Jody's Auto Service Centers can do for your vehicle and you'd never take your vehicle anywhere else.
My fleet is small, 14 trucks and cars. It's a struggle every day with parts, employees, and scheduling, but one thing I never worry about is vehicles. Jody's has special fleet pricing, special in and out service, or free shuttle and pickup and delivery service. And they do everything, service, repair, and maintenance. That makes my life much easier. All my vehicles go to Jody's.
Latest technology and highly trained technicians means we can do it all. From the most highly technical repairs to everyday oil change specials, tires, everything, even diesels. Jody'sAuto.com schedule free shuttle service or pickup and delivery. Get a tire quote, get financing. Jody's Auto Service Centers, voted best of the best by our customers year after year. We're your neighbors since 1984 with 3 full-service locations in Fort Smith and Van Buren. See for yourself at JODYSauto.com.
If you are involved in a divorce or custody case, you want an attorney you can trust to guide you through the process. The attorneys at Hickey & Hole Law Partners have over 7 decades of combined experience. Hickey & Hole have seen and heard nearly every scenario you can imagine, ready to put that experience to work for you to get the best results. Visit KevinHickeyLaw.com or give them a call today, 479-434-2414. Hickey & Hole Law Partners. Things are about to get better.
Walk-Ons is always a win, whether it's for a post-game celebration, drinks with the crew, or an easy weeknight dinner. Walk-Ons has you covered. Scratch-made dishes, wall-to-wall TVs, craft beers and cocktails. Dig into their mouth-watering menu items like po' boys, gumbo, and voodoo shrimp, plus fan favorites like juicy burgers and fresh salads. Find your nearest location in Rogers, Fayetteville, Fort Smith, Conway, and Little Rock, or order online or in the app. Walk-On Sports Bistro for the win.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. It's time for the Morning Rush Daily Question.
Your Honor, I'd like to ask for a recess.
I'd like an answer to the question, Judge.
The court will wait for an answer.
All right, we got our What's Your Beef Wednesday coming up in just a bit. Your calls and texts are welcome here on the hotline at 877-377-6963.
All right, Morning Rush Daily Question. Just talked to the Big O, Oliver Miller. What was your favorite memory of that era? I just mentioned going to that Bethune-Cookman game, and JT in Hot Springs said he was there at that game. But I best remember that it also snowed a bunch during that game, and getting down the old 71 was a challenge. My favorite memory, and again, this all goes back to before you were even born, Ty, but is Arkansas getting to that Final Four. They played Duke. Arkansas was a young group of freshmen, but that'd probably be one of my favorite memories. I know that game didn't turn out, but that was my first understanding of a Final Four, its importance. I wasn't old enough to remember the original triplets and what they accomplished in the late 70s. I wasn't born till the tail end of 75. So that was, not only did we realize that was the beginning of something really special to happen over a 5 or 6 year period, but those guys were the real table setters for the dominance of the Arkansas program in the 90s. And Big O was, again, a bigger-than-life personality, one of my favorites, but just truly being old enough at that point, 14, 15 years old, to understand the importance of that Final Four was big for me. That's my favorite. Even though the game didn't go your way, I understood at that point what a Final Four really meant to our program.
It's the altitude probably didn't help your up and down style at Denver at the time.
Maybe.
Christian Laettner, Young Buck. Yeah, Bobby Hurley, Young Buck, a couple of the outstanding Duke players that were on that team. Like you said, I was not actually alive during that time. But I don't know how you look past and this also was a loss, the UNLV Super Bowl Sunday game. And
yep.
I think it's 91. I think it's 91. Maybe it's 92, but I think it's 91. Because everyone first off, 100,000 people were there that day. And from the
you just ask around, yeah.
You start adding up the number of people you talk to.
I was not there that day. I was in church. Early morning game on that Sunday.
That's probably the biggest game at home in that decade, or not maybe that decade, but close to it. But for me, it's like when we hear about Dallas, Texas, it's the biggest metropolitan area of Razorback fans outside this state. And I hear about Reunion Arena, and I hear from my dad, who is a Baylor alum. I hear from my uncle. I hear from so many others how Razorback crazy that place was, which, again, I'm an advocate for playing different conference things in Dallas because of Arkansas's foothold in Dallas, Texas. And I would say just the dominance. I mean, you think about how Arkansas closed out the Southwest Conference with, I believe, 3 straight regular season and championship titles. So they ran through that thing at the tail end. And Oliver was as crucial a piece to that as any. So Reunion Arena and what you did in that place would probably be a memory that I think Arkansas fans, whether you were there or not, could definitely talk about.
As a young teenager, right there around that 12, 13, 14 range, me and Mom and Dad, and my brother drove to Dallas without tickets, just hoping to find a ticket for a game or two to get in. Never could find a ticket for an Arkansas game.
Wow.
And I think I got to go inside Reunion Arena once because I don't know, was a Baylor fan or Texas Tech fan, had some tickets. I got to go in and watch a game, but it wasn't an Arkansas game. And we watched from some sports bars and stuff like that, from down there. But it was disappointing that we didn't get to go. And I remember Arkansas playing Texas. And we were listening on the radio driving back because we couldn't get in. And I think it was the championship game or the semifinal. I don't remember that detail, but I remember listening to Mike Nell's call of that game as we were driving home, and had finally gotten back into radio range.
Josh texted in saying, as a kid, we didn't miss a Southwest Conference game. The Big O, Lee, and Todd were bigger than life back in the day. So plenty of text on the memories that Big O, Oliver Miller, was associated with.
Great to hear from him this morning. And again, if you missed that conversation, you can catch it in our podcast or online at hitthatline.com or the Hit That Line Now app. All right, that's your Morning Rush Daily Questions brought to you by the Fence Man. When it comes time for new gates or some fences at your home, trust the people I trusted at my home, the Fence Man. They can easily build you a custom fence if you're looking for a custom ornamental iron installation, powered automatic gates, or, hey, I just need a chain link fence around my backyard. I need a 6-foot wood privacy fence. I need, maybe you want vinyl fencing around an area. Maybe you need an enclosure around, your dumpster or trash area at work. Some neighborhoods are requiring you to build fencing around where you keep your trash cans. They can help you with all of those kind of matters. 782-3936. They do large industrial and commercial jobs as well. So even the bigger jobs are well within scope for the Fence Man. 782-3936. The Fence Man, he ain't afraid of no work.
What's Your Beef Wednesday on the Morning Rush is brought to you by Richard's Country Meat Market in Fayetteville. No other meat market is in the same league when it comes to the selection, quality, and value you get from Richard's.
Oh, God, it's so good. So good and tasty.
1 block east of College and Rolling Hills Drive at 3042 North Market Avenue. Online at richardscountrymeatmarket.com.
So we got plenty of texts, and we'll get back to some of these beefs in momentarily. But I want to share mine. I didn't get to it in the first hour. Talking about Duke losing to them in the Final Four there in 1990 in Denver. This Cooper Flagg kid, who might be a great kid. I have no idea. Number 1 player coming out of high school, outstanding, participating against Team USA right now. But my beef is I already don't like him. Again, I don't know anything about him. It's kind of like it was kind of like Kyle Filipowski, who Arkansas beat in Bud Walton Arena this past season. It was great. I know some things have come out about his past recently, but it's just the Duke mold. It's like the talented white kid that seemingly on paper has everything. I have no idea this kid's background at all. But my initial thoughts is, he's being talked about as a player that can already play in the NBA now. He's stuck up, and I fully disclose that I'm doing that. But he just, anytime I see a highlight of him, it just ticks me off. Now, if he was a Razorback, he'd be the greatest thing since sliced bread. But because he's a Duke Blue Devil playing in Durham, North Carolina, for now John Shire instead of Coach K, he just rubs me the wrong way. Anytime I see anything,
stereotyping.
Very much
You're
so.
profiling.
Very much so. Again, very
unfair.
Very open about that. But it's Cooper Flagg is one of my beefs here this morning, as well as you heard Oliver. If you missed the conversation with Oliver, he talked about how he got maybe messed with a little bit for having a name Oliver growing up. That's why he liked the Big O better. My beef is also sharing the fact that my middle name is Franklin, which Jay in Cape Springs is making fun of. That's my, I guess, mom's maiden name, but I don't like it as my middle name. I hated when people knew that growing up, but now it's on the air, and now everyone knows it.
I thought the F stood for something else, but anyway, I'm glad we cleared that up.
Yeah. So
Franklin's better than Francis,
I think Francis sounds more
Tyson Francis Richardson.
Yeah, Tyson Francis, and it's just Ty.
For student council
on the be a rep if we wanted to do it. But yes, that is those are a few of my beefs. Let's see, got a couple other beefs. Smack Daddy says my beef is my wife buys $200 worth of groceries but never wants to cook dinner.
Boy, I know
I'm glad she never listens to
never
the
wants
show.
to cook. Always go out to dinner. Yeah.
Jamie
Let's get some Grubhub. Yeah.
Jamie May is his beef is that he's not coming to play 90 holes of golf with me the next couple days. Let's see, there's a few others. If you want to text or call those in,
90 holes might be too much in 3 days, even for me.
Yeah, it's gonna be. I got to stretch and I gotta hydrate. There's not gonna be any alcohol consumed on the golf course.
I'd love to know your stretching routine.
Just water. And you grab the driver and you stretch her out a little bit. Let's see. There's a few other beefs that we'll get to. What is your beef? I shared my just completely out there beef about Cooper Flagg, even though I know nothing about the kid outside he's the number 1 player and he's playing at Duke.
My beef is you painting with a broad brush here this morning. Is painting into a corner every Duke kid that ever came across.
They're all terrible.
Across the screen.
They're all terrible.
We'll get some of mine coming up. What's Your Beef Wednesday, brought to you by Richard's Country Meat Market in Fayetteville. Hey, no other meat market is in the same league when it comes to selection, quality, and value. You can find them in Fayetteville and, of course, online at richardscountrymeatmarket.com. Man, 90 holes of golf, or how about 2 or 3 days of fishing at Gaston's? World-class trout fishing right here in our own backyard. In fact, you could do both. You could fish at Gaston's, drive over to Big Creek, play a quality course there. You could kind of do both in a trip. But, hey, a few days at Gaston's will get you right. If your mind's a little scrambled, a little stressed out, the heat of summer, Gaston's is the place to get yourself right with the world. Their expert guides could take you on a great fishing trip. You can do half-day or full-day trips. Great pool on site and 80 private cabins and lodges. 870-431-5202. Gaston's White River Resort. A first-class time every time.
Arkansas's home for the best sports talk.
Ty, you're going to like this. As I wrote it, I was thinking about you.
This is the Morning Rush.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
I didn't think you had it in you.
I'm your huckleberry.
This is the Morning Rush.
Have your travel plans changed? Looking for a place that's close to home and keep your family safe? Gaston's White River Resort is located on the beautiful White River. They offer private accommodations in their lodges and cabins. Most cabins have a fully equipped kitchen or let their restaurant staff deliver to your cabin. Call 870-431-5202 and change your plans to Gaston's White River Resort. Gaston's White River Resort, a first-class time every time.
Hi everybody, Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center with exciting news. Backed by popular demand, state sales tax paid when you trade on our huge inventory of road-ready certified vehicles. That's right, this month get the best used car your money can buy, road-ready certified with warranty, and get your state sales tax paid when you trade. One more reason all the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, just north of Phoenix on Towson, Fort Smith.
Hot summer soon gives way to fall hunting season. And with the new Arkansas Early Bow Hunt, now is the time to get your new Hoyt Alpha X or the Carbon RX-8 dialed in. Check out the new Lift compounds from Matthews, the bow that puts aluminum in a new light. Sub 4 pounds and shooting 348 feet per second. Jelco Outdoors, your full-line archery store in the River Valley. Get ready for fall bow hunting at Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith.
The Wave Rural Connect Shoal Creek Zone is open. Fast fiber internet, TV, and home phone available. This covers Midway, New Blaine, Scranton, Delaware, and other areas. Even if this isn't your zone, check your address. We might be available for you. Get your whole home solution. Internet, TV, and phone from a local provider. Go to signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Are you an angler having trouble finding all the bait, tackle, and more for your fishing needs? Make Awake Bait and Tackle, now located in Fort Smith next to Witts Marine on North 11th Street, is your place. Make Awake Bait and Tackle also has the largest selection of plastics in the River Valley. Reactor Innovation, Bobby Garland, Zoom, Mega Bass, and more. Check out the Daiwa Rod and Reels. Make Awake Bait and Tackle, 803 North 11th Street at Fort Smith, 479-926-9320. Also get your rod and reels repaired. Come see us next to Witts Marine at Make Awake Bait and Tackle.
AAA Business Systems is your printer, copier, and production print solutions provider. What makes AAA unique? Ricoh, Sharp, and Brother Equipment. Fast, friendly service from our office technology experts. All-inclusive service contracts, managed IT services, and 4 locations statewide. AAA Business Systems. Find us online at AAABM.com. AAA Business Systems. Anything else is just a copy.
Calling all biscuit lovers. Hardee's limited edition blueberry biscuits are the stuff of biscuit dreams. Our famous buttermilk biscuits with summer's favorite berries baked in, served warm, and drizzled with icing. Don't miss your chance to try this special summertime treat while blueberry biscuits are still in season and ripe for the picking. Only at Hardee's. Goodness in the making. Order ahead on the Hardee's app. Participation may vary. Exclusions apply by time of day.
Nothing says summer fun like fishing with a Thill Bobber with the family. America's favorite floats by Thill are available in a variety of sizes and colors. These premium balsa wood floats are made by the thousands at Pradco in Fort Smith, Arkansas. They are great at detecting the slightest bites by fish and work great in tandem with crickets and redworms. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle shops everywhere. America's favorite floats by Thill.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Arkansas football. It's the players running through the A. Hoghats. It's more than 70,000 fans calling Woo Pig Suey.
Yes, sir.
Guys, I've got just one thing I want to say to you. Touchdown, Arkansas!
This is your Hog Update on the Morning Rush. Brought to you by Mr. Sparky. Need a licensed electrician to service your home? For one of their local pros, call 888-8-SPARKY.
All right, let's get into your Hog Update this morning here on the Morning Rush. Darius Cuff's one of the guys that you are after in this upcoming basketball recruiting class. And it looks like, based on some feedback from certain recruiting analysts, that he might wind up in Arkansas based on some of the things I've been reading, whether it's Rivals, On3, 24/7 Sports. A lot of them have some positivity to say about him. So Cortland Muldrow is the kid from Springdale that's playing out at Oak Hill out west nowadays, and he got an offer recently from Arkansas. So Cal, again, working not just on the class that he's, I think he has maybe it's 2 spots left open for this current roster, but on these upcoming years as well.
Yeah, and you got to get ahead, but again, you don't box yourself in today's world because of the transfer portal, and how much of this roster is going to turn over for the next year. I would imagine more than half. Probably we'll be looking at 7 new names this time next year. Mm-hmm. So that's the new nature. That's why you got to always keep yourself out there. But the great thing is you have a coach, as long as he's here, that when he walks in the room, every head turns, everyone stops, and everyone notices. And it could be an arena of 20,000 people. Everybody in that building all of a sudden knows that John Calipari's in the house.
Is that like you when you walked into prom back in the day?
Not anything like that.
Your date, though, right?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Yeah. All right, continuing on here, your Hog Update. Congrats to Stanley Amude, who signed a 2-away contract with Milwaukee Bucks. 3 Hogs up in Milwaukee now. Bobby Portis, Patrick Beverly, and now Stanley Amude. So I guess it's becoming somewhat of the Milwaukee Razorbacks. That's a place that I have not been to. I've heard great things about Milwaukee. Our friend Brett Good has been there many times, and I would like to go explore it and maybe go catch in a game now that there's 3 Hawks. Hopefully you see Stanley when he's not on whatever Milwaukee's G League team and he's suiting up for the Bucks that night.
Save your nickels up if you're going to an NBA game. Tickets are not cheap, so even on the secondary market.
Nope. That is your Hog Update this morning. It's brought to you by our friends at Mr. Sparky.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
So the Ryder Cup is happening not this year, but next year. And recently you had Keegan Bradley being named the captain. Listened to the press conference yesterday. When I say I listened to 42 minutes, it's got you skimming reading. You listen to a part of a question, then you listen to the answer, and you just kind of skim or whatnot.
Why you don't always have full context? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't watch 42 minutes of this either, but it was pretty clear from watching just a few minutes. Keegan Bradley was shocked and blown away. It took him, as he said, a few minutes to process the idea that he was going to be the captain, and maybe not some of the bigger names in golf.
And what he has to do now is figure out, hey, who's going to play this next year? And it was interesting to hear him talk about the possibilities, including live guys.
I'm going to have the 12 best players on the team. I don't care where they play. So we have a mission to win this tournament. I'm not worried about the live stuff. I want the best players on the team. By the time we get to Bethpage in 2025, we have no clue how the layout of the golf world's going to be.
So he touches on it a little more, and
it's ever changing. But the captain gets some picks, but the majority of the team is set by, and that's the question: is the points and how you qualify, and the system set up by the PGA of America. And so Keegan Bradley's a bit of a surprise name, maybe an underwhelming brand name. Compared to some others. Zach Johnson's been very involved in this process. I guess Tiger just doesn't want to be the captain of this team. Maybe that's beneath him. You'd think he would come up at some point. He's been a vice captain a couple of times, and I think he's been around the process. But it's probably hard for him to commit to something 2 years out. But the captain's biggest job, I know he makes the captain's picks, is to get these guys, to put a room of 12 players together that get along and want to play for each other and for their country, but then also setting those pairings up and then going through the 1 through 12 on the final day and trying to put yourself in the most advantageous spot. You mentioned it's going to be at Bethpage Black, a place that he's somewhat familiar with. You told me earlier he played at St. John's, so maybe that's part of the calculus. The Americans have not had recent overwhelming success in the Ryder Cup, so hopefully you can crack the code here because Europe has had the better of America more often than not in the last 15, 20 years.
Now help me on this as the golfer. Is the Ryder Cup just in the U.S. or does it flip back and forth in Europe?
It's an every other year event, and it rotates between Europe and here. So it's just in Rome this past October. So off year this year, and then be at Bethpage Black in 25.
Maybe a beef of yours this morning is the fact that it just falls in the worst time for us.
I mean, I hate that, and it's one of the best times of the year for golf. People don't value October and early November golf as far as condition of course. Grasses come back and bounce back from the heat of summer. You're towards the end of golf season, air quotes. For some it never stops, but it's a huge event. I mean, if you're a golfer, it's a huge event. It gets overshadowed by pro and college football. And when I'm done doing this someday, that is on my bucket list of things I want to go do. Maybe I'll just take off sometime and go do that. But it's not a great fan event to attend in person.
Oh, is it not?
Well, I mean, think about it. You've got 4 or 5 pairings out on the course at any one time, and there's the same crowd at one of these that's maybe at a normal, major championship event, 30, 40,000 people. But they're all crammed into a very confined 3 or 4 hole space rather than spread out over maybe 18 holes like you would at a tournament. So for those that maybe attended, a lot of people in 22 went over and watched the PGA at Tulsa at Southern Hills. Well, you were spread out over 18 holes with crowds, and there was grandstands in certain places. But, in the Ryder Cup, everybody's mashed up there trying to watch, 3 or 4 holes of golf on the entire course.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't make it easy for fans from what I've heard. I've not been there, but I've talked to people that have went, and that was their experience. It's a fun party, and if your team's winning, it's great and a great environment, but it's tough to actually see golf.
All right, coming up in hour number 3, we had a chance to catch up with Coach Pat Jones yesterday, and we talked a bunch of things. We talked Oklahoma and Texas, but I want to spend some time on his thoughts on recruiting and also what he had to say about Sam Pittman heading into this year. There's no question that Sam has pressure on him this season. Some of you have already written him off. I personally haven't. I think what's best for this football program is if Sam Pittman and company were not just to make it to a bowl game, but 7 or 8 wins. That may be completely out of the realm of possibility. I don't know. We'll find out in, 50 days. We're 50 days out from when Arkansas plays UAPB on August the 29th. But I want to go back and play some of his stuff because I always get some better insight when I hear former coaches or current coaches talk about situations that other coaches were facing. I thought Pat detailed in pretty good quality yesterday.
Yep, it's a good listen, and glad we're going to revisit some of those moments. Hey, we were just talking about golf a minute ago, and the heat of summer has gotten here. I know we've had a little break last 24 hours or so, but hey, there's a great place in Northwest Arkansas, Ty. If you want to do some indoor golf, get some buddies together, you've got the spot that you can gather and play some of the best courses around the world.
Yeah, I do. My friends Christian Olson and Nate Garian have opened up Cart Path Social. It's Northwest Arkansas's #1 place for indoor golf. Like Tommy said, you can play courses all over the United States.
Bethpage Black is on that list. It's on many simulators.
99. I'm pretty sure Nate put something on social media that it is. It's just $50 per hour for a bay. Go to cartpathsocial.com. Up to 8 golfers per bay. So that's not $50 per person. It's $50 per bay. It usually takes about an hour to play 18 per person. So you're not going to get yelled at by the missus if you're there for an hour to like you would be maybe on a golf course for 5 or 6 hours. BYOB, bring your own food, bring your own alcohol, and there are monthly memberships available as well. Give them a call, 479-619-9750. That's Cart Path Social in Northwest Arkansas, located at 122 Grant Place in Lowell. Make sure if you book an appointment, you tell Christian, you tell Nate that I'm not too bad after all, because they think I am. All right, we got that hour coming up. Also want to come back to something that Dennis Dodd wrote, which I find pretty interesting that I don't necessarily agree with, and we'll get into a few other beefs as well because we are stocked up with them here on a What's Your Beef Wednesday. Hour 3 next on the Morning Rush. ESPN Arkansas. HitThatLine.com.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
WT Equipment is your home for New Holland ag and construction equipment, sales, parts, and service. For high horsepower row crop tractors and combines, utility tractors and hay equipment, compact track loaders, and mini excavators. WT Equipment has it all. Stop by one of their 8 locations to explore the value of New Holland tractors and see why New Holland hay equipment and twin rotor combines are second to none in harvesting ability. Need to upgrade your construction equipment fleet? Give WT Equipment a call. Come by a store or check out their website, WTEquip.com.
Home is everything. It's your sanctuary, your command center, your music room, and your art studio. It's where you eat family dinners and make lasting memories. When you use a Weichert agent to help you find your home, we'll help you find the space to make it yours. When you begin your search, know that a Weichert agent will be there with you every step of the way. Because at Weichert Realtors, we guide you home. To get started, call your local Weichert agent and look for our bright yellow signs all over town. At Weichert Realtors, we sell more because we do more. Each Weichert franchised office is independently owned and operated.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
This is the Morning Rush.
Let's see. Leaky faucet Tuesday. Water flooding the yard. Better put that down for the middle of the month when the bills aren't due.
Honey, what are you doing?
Planning our plumbing problems, of course.
You can't plan our plumbing problems, but you should plan our plumber.
What do you mean?
Like all important contacts, I keep Westart Plumbing in my phone. They're always there when we need them, and they don't overcharge since they know we don't plan our plumbing problems. Here, honey, here's their number.
646-5151. Thanks, babe.
Westart Plumbing. We keep you flowing.
The paint store in Van Buren is still the place to go to when doing the job right really matters. Our unique line of Richards paint products was chosen by me to perform for you. This is Sue, and my 35 years of experience ensures you get the right paint and the right color. That's important to you and me. Thank you for your support. Come see what I'm talking about. 1414 Fayetteville Road, the paint store, Van Buren.
Patriot Transport wants to thank their drivers for their hard work and dedication. The local and over-the-road drivers are essential to the Patriot Transport mission. Day in and day out, Patriot Transport drivers are on the road striving for safety and success. To the behind-the-scenes dispatch and office employees, Patriot Transport thanks them as well for the hard work they put in day and night. If you want to be a part of the Patriot Transport family, visit patriottransport.com. Patriot Transport is located in Danville, Arkansas.
When I need a place to stay in Northwest Arkansas, I always choose the Inn at the Mill. It's centrally located in the heart of NWA at the Johnson exit off I-49 and is the most unique choice of hotels in the region. Whether you're in town for the game, a concert at the Amp, business travel, or just a weekend away, the Inn at the Mill has a spacious, clean room ready for you. Reserve your stay at the Inn at the Mill, 479-443-1800, or visit innatthemill.com. The Inn at the Mill, where the past meets the present.
Wes, how many people can a large pizza feed?
About 4.
So I should tell Cousin Jeff 1.
Oh, wow. He's a big eater.
The biggest. He once got kicked out of an all-you-can-eat diner because they ran out of food. How many can a small pizza feed?
I'd say 2.
Our small pizza at $15 is a meal for 2? We should advertise this. That goat'll hunt.
Dog.
What you call me?
That dog will hunt.
Wes, dogs are man's best friend. Goats are the true hunters.
Goats?
Billy Goat Jr.'s Grammy was trained to chase squirrels, cats, birds, and rabbits. We could hear her for miles through the brush. and she'd circle them right to us.
You're not serious.
As serious as a meal for two for $15.
You're an interesting cat.
What'd you call me?
A meal for two for $15. Eat Jim's RazorbackPizza.com.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One is a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, partly to mostly sunny skies are high this afternoon into the upper 80s. Clear skies, mid to upper 60s tonight, and then tomorrow, sunny skies. The high will be just over 90. Friday, plenty of sunshine, low 90s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by real estate agents Nick and Ollie Gleidner. Ready to serve. The Bud Light Countdown is on. Arkansas football begins in 50 days. This hour of the Morning Rush is brought to you by Farm Credit. From farms to land, livestock, equipment, and more, Farm Credit finances it all. Learn more at myaglender.com.
Sam's been around. He's seen a lot of things come and go. When you're in kind of make or break year like Sam apparently is now, just put your head down and bore. Don't let that eat you up. Put your head down and go. See what happens. That's the only choice. And put your head down and bore. Sam's an offensive line coach by trade. That's kind of, they're grinders. Just grind. Just grind it out and see what will happen. There's so many things you can't control. Kid gets hurt. You turn the ball over at the wrong time. Some kind of thing like that. You can't control that. But you just still put your head down and grind.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden. You're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live from the Busch Light Studios. Heard all across ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com.
Hit that line.
This is the Morning Rush with Ty Richardson, Tommy Kraft, and Chuck Barrett.
You're in need of a serious attitude adjustment, young man. You better get your priorities straight.
Produced by Christian Johnston.
In spite of the juvenile snickers of some, this is a serious matter.
Good morning, gentlemen. Let me rephrase that. You got two gentlemen. Got one ain't earned it yet, has he?
You don't need to wear a ball cap, man. You need to let those golden locks flow.
It's
So we're 50 days out from Arkansas football, and I'm ready to hear Big Mike after football games again. He is about as entertaining as it gets on Hog Reaction, post-win, post-loss, because, as you can probably tell from that piece of audio, there might be a beverage or two consumed, even if it was early on in the morning. We got Hour 3 coming at you here on a What's Your Beef Wednesday. Got a few things like Coach Pat Jones that you heard at the top of our open. Want to get to some of the recruiting stuff that he's had yesterday. And with Nick Saban out of the SEC, who is now the biggest game on each opponent's schedule? Is it Alabama still? Is it Georgia? Is it Texas? Quinn Ewers, no surprise, thinks it's Texas. So we'll get into some of that coming up here in hour number 3. Before we do, though, we were talking with our buddy Larry Rath of Rath Auto Resources yesterday, and he's taking me through, and David's taking me through, both of their Mighty Key Car Care Centers. They're guys that have worked at both locations. Larry for 20-plus years, and David, I guess they're going on year 7 now. It's really cool. It's like a step back in time almost. They made it kind of like one of those old-school things at both of the Mighty Key Car Care Centers. So when you think about Road Ready certified and ready to roll with Rath at both locations, you want a pre-owned vehicle that will not break down on you when you're on a trip or when you get off the lot. So they make sure that, again, they're hand-picked vehicles, that they fix everything before they go through, and they, again, have warranties on them, which is not typical of pre-owned vehicles in the car buying industry. New tires, front-end work, the best used car a money can buy. Both at Rath Auto Resources in Fort Smith and then Rath Mitsubishi in Springdale. If you stop by and see David, please ask him to do the Hank Hill voice. Might have to buy a car, but I think he'll do it after that. All right, let's get to what Coach said first. So I think everyone's disappointed about losing a couple in-state kids. You know, the staff's disappointed, and I say lose. I'm using that loosely here. They have not lost them just yet. They have committed, and that's what kind of Coach Pat Jones talked about yesterday.
Well, it's really always been that way. What you got a commitment on the kid from Parkview, right, to safety. I'm not big into commitments until they actually sign. You know how that is. But, that's Keith Jackson School. This didn't just start up now. I can remember Texas got, Grayling White 100 years ago down there, the run back from Texarkana. They dabbled around up here off and on. Now, they'll be up here a little bit more, I would imagine. But I don't know wholesale. How many kids are going to be in Arkansas can really play every year? 5 or 6? But, you're not dealing with a whole lot of population density. With what's going on in northwest Arkansas, that's changed a little bit. I mean, they even have a football team there. Central Parkview's carrying on here a little bit, but, the demise of Little Rock Public Schools doesn't help the University of Arkansas as far as, recruiting was used to. Back in the day, you could figure there are going to be 4 or 5 kids out of Greater Little Rock that are in varying degrees pretty good football players every year. I don't know what that is now.
You heard that there. Here's where I would have a beef if I was an Arkansas football fan, and I think that the staff probably have a beef. You've actually got a Little Rock school that's holding its own now in recruiting in Little Rock Parkview, where that program has been dormant for a number of different years. And I know there's been a Landon Rogers, there's been an Aaron Outley, but unfortunately, both those guys didn't necessarily pan out in Arkansas. But you got what?
Haven't had impact players.
Yes, you've got 5 or 6 guys that have several D1 offers. O'Marion Robinson being the best of the bunch, who is, again, as you heard, committed to Oklahoma. I think a fair beef, if you're an Arkansas fan, is, again, Little Rock has not been kind to you for the most part as your state capital when it comes to high school football recruiting. Now you have several guys at one school that look like they can play D1 football, and you only got, I guess, one of them committed thus far.
But I think when you say Little Rock public schools or Little Rock area football, you got to change the definition of that anymore, because Bryant's produced a number of kids, and Walker White from Little Rock Christian. Private schools have become more of a factor with PA, and White's the latest example out of Little Rock Christian that he's not going to Arkansas, but he's an SEC level recruit. So it's not just what can Pulaski County public schools necessarily produce. And listen, Coach is right, and he's not the first to say it. We've said it. Arkansas football depends. Part of its success depends on getting great in-state recruits out of one of your largest population center in your capital city. But when you look at where some of the great linemen, Sean Andrews is the first one to come to mind. He wasn't Little Rock; it's South Arkansas. It's places like Camden. It's places like El Dorado. It's places like Fordyce that produce some of your good interior talent in this state. But the point is, and he's right, Little Rock as a whole, and I don't think you can just say it's, Little Rock Central and North Little Rock. I know there are different school districts and Parkview, and just go down the roster of those public schools in Pulaski County. You also got to consider the private schools with Christian and PA. You've got to think about Bryant down in Saline County, that metro area, Conway coming back to the west. That the dynamics have changed.
I think those
kind of got to draw a circle from Cabot over to Greenbrier and Bologna and out to Conway and down to Bryant and back up, and maybe even include Hot Springs in that area.
Here's what I would say on that. So those teams you referenced, Little Rock Christian, Bryant, Conway, and Pulaski Academy, have had great teams, right? Mm-hmm. And they've won championships and have success.
And some of the best coaches in our state in the last 15, 20 years.
Kevin Kelly, Buck James, Anthony Lucas took over there and I think is doing a fine job. The issue, I think, is those teams have not necessarily produced the best college. They've produced great high school players, but those college, like Bryant, for example, you lose that defensive end to IMG Academy, forgetting the young man's name. I know Ledbetter's playing football again now, but I don't know if he's ever going to play at Arkansas. Those teams have had great teams, but not necessarily put out great college football players specifically at Arkansas. I don't know what Walker's. Walker's a family friend. I hope Walker kills it at Auburn, just not when he plays Arkansas. I have no idea what his future holds. That's another issue on that. I think another thing that is kind of chapping my caps this morning, or however you say it, is the set in stone nature of some fans that just think the season's done, Sam's going to get fired. I'm not going to sit here and tell you definitively on July the 10th prior to SEC Media Days, 50 days out from the season, that he is 100% going to keep his job. What I have got a little irritated by and frustrated by is people that just think there's no way, no chance in hell that he can figure it out this year, that they're just doomed. It's inevitable that they'll have a losing season and things are going by the wayside.
Same people that thought Bobby Petrino walked on water to get here as your OC.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that is, again,
Two thoughts don't go together.
And I'll say this, and I want to play this comment from Jimmy and Conway yesterday, because I think this really rings true for a lot of fans listening.
Football is more important. We need it just because we're in this ditch. And if they don't get to a bowl game, I'm with you. He needs to go. I mean, I like Sam, but if you can't do the job, you can't do the job. Doesn't mean I don't like you. This means we need somebody that can do the job, period.
I don't think any of you, and I could be wrong about this, but I don't think any of you dislike Sam Pittman as a person. I think you're wondering if he is the guy to lead you into another change within the Southeastern Conference, as of what happened in 92, as of what happened in 2012, and as is what happened 12 years later with Texas and Oklahoma. And they're valid questions to ask. I've just, as we get closer and closer to season, I'm not on the positive side. Like one of my friends who called me yesterday and said they're going to win 10 games, but I'm also on the doom and gloom that they're going to go like 2-10, like the Morris years, because we got a comment earlier, Tommy, saying that that Sam Pittman, if he gets fired after this season, that it's going to be as bad as it was when Morris got here.
Well,
I'm not going to sit here and tell you that can't happen again, but I would be very, very shocked if it did.
If this team wins 7 or 8 games, the conversation will turn to contract extension and raise and those things in the right context and situation, right? So would you say 7 or 8 wins? Certainly 8, maybe, and I think even 7. There's no conversation about change. If it's 3 or 4 wins, I think there probably is, the decision's made itself. It's what happens if you're at 5 or 6? Show some improvement, teams playing better, lose some close. I mean, but again, we as fans have an opinion. We say what we think should happen. Hunter Yurachek and those above him are going to be the ones that actually make the decision. Some believe, and this I don't think these opinions are out of bounds, that hey, if Arkansas had been more in a better financial footing last year coming out of the season, knowing, and I believe Hunter Yurachek and the powers that be knew a change in basketball was likely following the basketball season. I don't think it was a surprise of any nature to Hunter Yurachek in December, what was maybe coming in just a few months. You got to also make your decisions on personnel based on where you're at financially. These contracts have buyouts. They have financial stipulations, and you got to be able to meet those. So, I mean, there's a lot more to it than, hey, you win games or get fired. I know that's ultimately how it works, but the timing of how it works is a little more practical and a little more level-headed.
Yeah,
and Sam knows the equation. He knows he's got to win to stay. I think in his perfect world, in the next 2 or 3 years, he could lead this program back to 9 or 10 wins and then right off into the sunset as a hero. Get down to Lake Hamilton and high-five everybody that comes by. I think that's the perfect world that he would like to live in. Only he could tell you that, but that's the sense I get. He would love to reestablish this. You don't have to win the conference. If he could get it back on a clearly better footing than where he found it, and I think it already is, just in my opinion. He's got a much better program than what he inherited. Then he can leave as a hero in a lot of people's estimates because he's very likable. People love Sam Pittman, and everybody wants to see him do well. And I think, it wouldn't surprise me if this season surprised us all and it was 9 wins somehow or 10. Wouldn't surprise me a bit. I don't think it's his intention, but wouldn't surprise me for him to say, you know what? I'm retiring. I'm going to the lake, and he leaves the handsome hero. That wouldn't surprise me at all if the scenario played out. Now, that scenario would surprise me, but I think he wants to leave on inarguable good footing.
Yeah, I would agree with that. If you've got some thoughts on this, you can jump in here at 877-377-6963 as we are again 50 days out from Razorback football. this season.
All right, What's Your Beef Wednesday, brought to you by Richard's Country Meat Market. What's going on the grill tonight? Whatever it is, you'll find only the best at Richard's Country Meat Market, from the aroma of steak to the perfectly flavored gourmet burgers, and even fresh kebabs on the grill. You'll find it all this summer with all the best stuff to go with it at Richard's Country Meat Market, online at richardscountrymeatmarket.com. My brother, for 4th of July, brought a full pan of Richard's Country Meat Market potato salad.
Nice.
Unbelievably good.
I know that is a Clay Henry favorite. Well, I got to be honest about this. I've known about Richard since I was in school at the University of Arkansas. Heard Clay talk about it. Heard Bo used to talk about it. Obviously, we're talking about it. I have still not been there, and that is a grave mistake on my part, I guess.
Well, you've got the new home. Do you have a grill for the new home?
Is there a grill? I don't think so.
You would know it. That's a problem right there in and of itself.
I don't think so.
What do you own a grill? It would be outside, out back somewhere.
I'm thinking in my head.
Is there a bag of charcoal laying around?
I don't think so. I believe that is not.
Big C, I know what we need to get him for a home warming gift.
Yeah, absolutely. You want to get me a grill? Oh, stand up.
Can we expensive?
Blackstone. Yeah, you could.
That's not a grill. That's a griddle.
Aren't they the same thing? It's the same thing, right?
It's not the same.
Okay,
thing.
well, I would if I'm going to choose, I would take Blackstone because it sucks in all the juices. It doesn't go through the holes or whatever, and it keeps everything.
It would be called a grate.
Okay, the grate, yeah.
And a real man cooks on char. I have a Blackstone. It has its useful purpose, but a man needs a grill. You need charcoal. You need open flame, man.
But the good stuff goes through the grate.
But the good stuff also comes up, that charcoal flavor. That smoked wood flavor that you might put in there.
I think, Liz, here's how we can expense it. I'll have clients over, and then we can do it on that. As you mentioned, What's Your Beef? I have another beef. I'm reading this piece. Matt Jones, really good job. Not our Matt Jones. Matt Jones, Arkansas Democrat, is at Whole Hog Sports. I'm reading this piece that he just wrote recently on parking. I know the U of A has a ton of lots. It's like over 100. You got the parking garages.
Some bigger, some smaller.
New numbers, new signage. Apparently you can check out the changes at parking.uark.edu. But I just think about that first game because remember, Little Rock, Stillwater, Fayetteville. There's not going to be and then you'll go and then you think about
then you go
Auburn, Arlington,
yep.
Tennessee. So there's not like this consistency where you can figure the ends out. And I was thinking that on the schedule last night. I was like, that's going to be a beef. It's not as much of an issue, I would say, for me because I know where I'm going. But I know it's going to be an issue for a lot of you attending games this fall.
And here you want to beef on What's Your Beef Wednesday. The map that they put on the back of the parking pass is, you need a telescope to read it.
It's so small.
It's so small. Even with young eyes and great reading glasses, it's hard to discern.
Yeah.
So, okay, I get it. There's a limited space. Maybe you put just the map that kind of applies to the local area of where that particular location is, because it is a spread out area amongst the campus where those, 100 lots are. But enclose a larger or QR code or something to get to a version that people with even 20/20 vision can read. Because, man, I look at some of these parking maps on the back of these parking vouchers or tickets or whatever. It's impossible to figure out what that says a lot of times.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you rely on, hey, well, here's where I've always parked, and this is the same number. But if the numbers are changing, and I don't know if your location's changing, they need to make it easy to figure out. QR code on the back of the parking pass to get a larger tick or a larger map you can zoom in on.
I will say, and that's kind of what Stoner suggested. Take a picture and zoom in. The QR code's a good idea.
QR code on the back of the parking pass is what they need, where you can easily access a map.
Yeah.
That's a free one, Hunter. Just go ahead and get that done. I won't even bill you for that idea.
Going to different college football venues these past few years, I have a pretty good understanding of Fayetteville, but when I go to these places and they're not properly marked, or I have parking lot attendants tell me one thing and it's in another, it drives me insane. It just drives me up a wall. I want to run over the attendant when they tell me the wrong thing, even though I would never actually do that. Road rage does get the best of us, but I would not actually intentionally injure someone. But it's one thing to not know where to go at your home place because you still have a good idea when you're in some area you've never been to. It's drives you up a wall.
Or do what we do. We're going to be live at the Stadium Shop next door to Baum Walker. Just go there and park. Pre-game with us. It's an easy walk up to the stadium, or just walk over to the baseball stadium, catch one of the shuttle buses up. So Robert makes it easy.
I know.
There.
I know we talk.
You don't have parking passes.
Yeah, I know we talk about the setup of the schedule, but it's just still odd that you don't play a home game till week 3 to me. And I know that, again, this will expire after next season with the Little Rock game. I don't remember if the A-State game's the first game next season. Might want someone double check me on that, but it's just I know.
I looked next year's schedule. You got conference opponents, not dates. You got games, and I'd put some of it in my phone. There is I don't know if it's
Arkansas football schedule usually has a pretty good.
Well, but they don't have the conference games. I was looking at this last week to put it in my phone for next year, because I was actually making some plans for fall of 25. And let me go, because some of the games you had dates in as non-conference games, but I do know that Arkansas versus Arkansas State's at War Memorial on September the 6th. So that's the date on that.
Okay.
2025.
Well, that is the setup for next season. Again, that is a beef.
Arkansas versus Missouri State in Fayetteville, August 30th.
Okay, so that will be, thank goodness, they'll have the first game in Donald W. Reynolds Razorback Stadium this next season. This schedule did Sam Pittman no favors. Honestly,
Arkansas versus Memphis, September 20th, in case you were wondering.
By the way, next year's worse. Your non-conference games, as Tommy just said, Missouri State, Memphis, Arkansas State, Notre Dame, and
September 27th.
Yes.
2025.
By the way, go to Knoxville, go to Baton Rouge, go to Oxford, and go to Austin. That is awful in terms of a difficulty of next season's strength of schedule.
You know, next year, and hey, let's get to this year first, but you know you will have a conference game on September 13th. My guess is you will open play, and this is only Tommy Kraft's guess, you will open on the road September 13th somewhere in SEC play, because you're home, then you got a date there, then you're home. So you'll have 4 home games that are non-conference games by the end of September. So you probably want a road game, but that also means you're going to have, a lighter home schedule in October and November as well. Plus, you get your bye dates in there.
I guess that's the only the only good thing about this year's schedule is you do have a thicker home schedule down the stretch.
So down the stretch next year will be
road tripping,
more road heavy, to say the least. Hey, Art's Barbecue Burgers and more. If you're looking for a great lunch today, get in and see them. Don't forget all their weekly specials. I always think about the special on Saturdays. We're talking about Saturdays, $1 off all burgers. They do that every Saturday. They got 10 different burgers on the menu. Just the old classic's pretty good because they hand patty those burgers out. I like anything with the bacon on it because they brine their own pork bellies, smoke them, and then slice it and finish it off on that griddle to give you some outstanding, what should be award-winning bacon. I don't know if they've entered it in a contest. If they did, they would win. But 10 different burgers. Some have their pulled pork on it. The one with the poblano pepper is amazing, so try that one. 10 burgers to choose from, and they're $1 off each Saturday. Art's Barbecue Burgers and more. Rogers Avenue, next to Buddy's in Fort Smith.
Arkansas's home for the best sports talk.
Yeah, I think that's a good take, Ty, and I don't say that often.
You're listening to The Morning Rush.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
WT Equipment is your home for New Holland ag and construction equipment, sales, parts, and service. For high horsepower row crop tractors and combines, utility tractors and hay equipment, compact track loaders, and mini excavators. WT Equipment has it all. Stop by one of their 8 locations to explore the value of New Holland tractors and see why New Holland hay equipment and twin rotor combines are second to none in harvesting ability. Need to upgrade your construction equipment fleet? Give WT Equipment a call. Come by a store or check out their website, WTEquip.com.
Home is everything. It's your sanctuary, your command center, your music room, and your art studio. It's It's where you eat family dinners and make lasting memories. When you use a Weichert agent to help you find your home, we'll help you find the space to make it yours. When you begin your search, know that a Weichert agent will be there with you every step of the way. Because at Weichert Realtors, we guide you home. To get started, call your local Weichert agent and look for our bright yellow signs all over town. At Weichert Realtors, we sell more because we do more. Each Weichert franchised office is independently owned and operated.
Hey, this is Arkansas wide receiver Isaiah Satania, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
The good old summertime is here, and Jelco Outdoors is ready to help you have a great time. Going fishing? Jelco has one of the largest selections of fishing equipment and gear for your day on the water. Taking a vacation? Jelco has a great selection of casual shirts, shorts, and comfortable shoes to make your vacation one to remember. Fall is not far away, so start getting your bows and guns ready for fall. Jelco Outdoors, your store for all season. Have a great summer from Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith.
Calling all biscuit lovers. Hardee's limited edition blueberry biscuits are the stuff of biscuit dreams. Our famous buttermilk biscuits with summer's favorite berries baked in, served warm, and drizzled with icing. Don't miss your chance to try this special summer.
This video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned. Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas. More than just radio stations. Call or text the McLarty Daniel hotline at 877-377-6963. McLarty Daniel, a vehicle for every lifestyle.
When you're looking for a new car, you want to shop for a vehicle you love with an organization you trust. You've probably heard that McLarty Daniel means making deals, but what I'm inspired by the most is that McLarty Daniel means making a difference in our community. When you buy a vehicle with McLarty Daniel, you reinvest right here in the community, in our schools, in our little leagues, in our food banks, and our people. So you're not just making a purchase, you're making a difference too. Come see us at any of our 6 locations in Northwest Arkansas.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is your number one source for all your sports betting needs this season. From baseball, golf, soccer, right to all the top fights in UFC, MMA, and boxing. Every stat, every matchup, and even live odds and spreads while the games are being played. When the game's over, head over to our online casino and get in on a game of blackjack or poker or unwind with one of our over 150 slots games. Head to the website today to get in on the action. Use promo code BELIEVE for your 50% free bet credit on your first deposit up to $250. Bet online. The game starts here.
This song hit number 2 without one guitar. Gary Wright traveled with George Harrison to India for spiritual enlightenment and wrote Dream Weaver, describing God as infinite love and compassion, seeing him through the trials of the night. Of the 330 million gods of Hinduism, not one will get you to the morning light, but only through the blood of Jesus Christ. Satan is a master deceiver, weaving many into make-believers. I'm Pastor Heath from Woodland. Think about it.
Hey, ESPN 96.3 and HitThatLine.com. Have you been to Swark Liquor? Trey Gentry and his team have a phenomenal spot. It's the first liquor stop in Arkansas for our Dallas and Texas fans traveling up to the hill. So if you're heading to Fayetteville, the lake, a cabin weekend, hunting, fishing, or any other activity you need your favorite drink, stop by Swark Liquor. And check out their apparel too. You'll want to wear it. Swark Liquor, 864 East Collin Ray Drive in DeQueen, Arkansas. Swark Liquor, we promise to keep them cold for you. Are you ready to give your family the best 4th of July experience yet? USA Fireworks wants to make that happen with the USA Fireworks Bangin' Giveaway. USA Fireworks has helped Arkansans more than 30 years. Go to hitthatline.com/USA Fireworks and enter for your chance to win a fireworks show worth $2,000 retail. Again, hitthatline.com/USA Fireworks. For more information about wholesale prices, go to usafireworks.org.
This video is powered.
Coming up in just a sec. Before we do, if you need a great place to watch college football at the same time and get some exercise, Cart Path Social. It's my buddy Nate Olson. I said the name wrong. Nate Garahan and Christian Olson's spot. Know those guys since in college. 2 Rogers kids that are trying to do something in Northwest Arkansas. They have done something. The best indoor golf facility. You can check it out at cartpathsocial.com. You can follow their social media pages. Nate always keeps them up to date on what's going on. You can play courses from all over the world in the United States, and it is awesome. Again, cartpathsocial.com. So not as expensive as you think. Plus, it's BYOB, $50 per bay per hour, and that includes up to 8 people. Not per person, but per bay. Again, cartpathsocial.com, located at Lowell, 122 Grant Place. Give them a call at 479-619-9750 if you want a great place to watch games, hang out on weekends, and, hey, your wife can come to at Cart Path Social. All right, let's talk some college football. So you've got SEC this fall, Tommy. Heard Quinn Ewers talking about this a little bit at the Manning Academy camp. And he believes, in his mind, that the Texas game is the biggest one on people's schedule this fall.
I mean, yeah, it's definitely a different level. I've always wanted to play in the SEC, so I know we're all excited to be a part of a conference like that. And like you said, we're everybody's biggest game, but we do understand that.
With the Longhorns coming in the league, I know for us, based on the season ticket sales, it is the biggest game on the schedule. It's not the most important, but for fans, it's the one they want the most. I'm like you. I think that Oklahoma State game in Stillwater can make or break your season. Even though I think it's unfair to expect to win on the road in week 2 against what is presumed to be a Big 12 champion representative, but that's kind of what fans want. I hope they just compete, and it comes down to the bitter end. That's what I'm hoping. I hope they win, actually, but if they compete, that's at least gives you a little sign of something. But is Texas, in the eyes of you, like Quinn Ewers, the biggest game on people's schedule now? I think it's Georgia.
Alabama still matters. Everybody's quick to dismiss them because of Nick Saban not being there. Alabama still matters. Texas and Alabama and Georgia, if you've got them on your home schedule, your AD is happy. Your head coach may not be happy. Your AD is happy because you're going to sell all the tickets. You're going to sell all the suites. You're going to get premium for everything. Big gate games. Texas is always going to be a big gate game. For Arkansas, it's not the biggest game on the schedule. Maybe the most coveted ticket, but you say that now sitting here on July the 10th. When you get around to, what's that game, November 16th or whatever it is.
Texas game, yeah, 16th.
You hope on November 10th that game matters. So for that game to matter, you got to win at places like Auburn. You want that to be a game of consequence where Arkansas maybe isn't playing for the championship, but maybe to heighten your bowl status and maybe to knock Texas out of a conference championship situation. So that game needs to matter to both sides for something. It may not be the same thing that you're playing for, but you hope you get to November and that's a game of consequence, not just one you're playing out the string.
JT in Laurel, Mississippi, texting. He says, I know I'm going to take my vacation for the Texas game if the season is going well. You think back.
He just said it, right? If the season's going well.
You think back to 1969 when I guess the ABC executives met and decided to push that game because that was traditionally a game that was played, early on or mid to the season. They put it at the very end. It's not, of course, going to have the same consequence as that. But like you said, you're hoping it does have any consequence. Are they going to be battling for the right who's going to go to Atlanta, Georgia? No. But you also don't want Arkansas fans to have an idea, or the team for that matter, to have the idea that they've let go of the rope. Even if you're like a middling bowl team, like on the brink of a bowl game, or you just got it, you could ruin Texas's season. And Arkansas's played spoiler before. I know you want to be the one that goes to Atlanta, Georgia. I get that. Trust me. 2006 was awesome. 2002 was awesome. I was less than a year old in 95, but I would guess that y'all had a great time in 95, even getting stomped by Florida, I guess it was, in the SEC championship. I don't expect that to be the case anytime soon, but yeah, that's significance of that. I think, so Georgia goes to Tuscaloosa, to Austin, and to Oxford, Tommy. They did not get any favors. To me, I just think, I don't know if they instantaneously take up the mantle that Alabama's held since Saban got there in 2007, but I think pretty quickly that's going to be the biggest game on everyone's schedule. Not Texas, not Oklahoma, not Alabama, but the team in Athens.
Yeah, and it's a big year from them for Georgia, and I think they want to plant their flag and say, listen, Texas, OU, Alabama, this is our league now, and they need to win the conference championship and be dominant to do that. I just think it's going to be very difficult for any one program to dominate this expanded league moving forward, particularly without Nick Saban. And Kirby Smart's great. He's not Nick Saban. Hey, if you're looking for a great dental office and a great dentist or a team of dentists to take care of you and your family, let me tell you about Riley Farm Dental. At the entrance to Riley Farms, they provide every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family: general dentistry, braces, cosmetics, implants, even same-day crown service. Dr. Sparkman, Davis, and Farmer are always there to give their patients a better experience and a great smile every time. Again, same-day crown service now available at Riley Farm Dental. 479-226-3500, 226-3500, or online at RileyFarmDental.com.
All right, we got your SEC update and a special interview when we return on the Morning Rush.
This is the Morning Rush.
What's up, Ryan?
Hey, appreciate you guys. Take my call. Listen to you guys all the time on my drive.
Arkansas's home for the best sports talk.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Home is everything. It's your sanctuary, your command center, your music room, and your art studio. It's where you eat family dinners and make lasting memories. When you use a Weichert agent to help you find your home, we'll help you find the space to make it yours. When you begin your search, know that a Weichert agent will be there with you every step of the way. Because at Weichert Realtors, we guide you home. To get started, call your local Weichert agent and look for our bright yellow signs all over town. At Weichert Realtors, we sell more because we do more. Each Weichert franchised office is independently owned and operated.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit, is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
He struck him out swinging. This is historic. You've never seen anything like this before.
This is the Morning Rush.
Hi, everybody. Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center with the exciting news. Backed by popular demand, state sales tax paid when you trade on our huge inventory of road-ready certified vehicles. That's right. This month, get the best used car your money can buy, road-ready certified with warranty, and get your state sales tax paid when you trade. One more reason all the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, just north of Phoenix on Towson, Fort Smith.
Are you looking for a change of scenery? Lavorne Lumber is looking to hire a Class A CDL flatbed driver for a regional position. Lavorne Lumber is highly competitive in pay. Lavorne Lumber is a family-owned lumber and trucking company. Home most nights and every single weekend. Guaranteed. Lavorne Lumber has top-of-the-line equipment. If you're interested in the job, stop by Lavorne Lumber at 515 Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith, Monday through Friday from 9 to 4.
This is Daryl Johnston with Hashtag Managed IT Services. We are excited to now be part of AAA Business Systems. Hashtag will continue to handle every IT need your business will have, and now, as part of AAA Business Systems, we can handle all of your document printing and storage solutions. Together, we have the expertise to meet all of your office technology needs. Find us online at aaabm.com or call us at 471-1771.
Do you need an attorney that you can actually speak with? You need Hickey & Hull Law Partners. The attorneys at Hickey & Hull understand the importance of client communication and are taking the time to meet you, respond to emails, and return calls. Every case is important, and they strive to give each one the time and attention it deserves. Call today, 479-434-2414, or visit them online at kevinhickeylaw.com. Hickey & Hull Law Partners. Things are about to get better.
Are you an angler having trouble finding all the bait, tackle, and more for your fishing needs? Make a Wake Bait and Tackle, now located in Fort Smith next to Witts Marine on North 11th Street, is your place. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle also has the largest selection of plastics in the River Valley. Reactor Innovation, Bobby Garland, Zoom, Mega Bass, and more. Check out the Daiwa Rod and Reels. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle, 803 North 11th Street in Fort Smith, 479-926-9320. Also get your rod and reels repaired. Come see us next to Witts Marine at Make a Wake Bait and Tackle.
Are you tired of processed meat and flimsy sandwiches? Subchain's gotten to your last nerve? Then I have the place for you. Come see my buddy Josefa at Lily's Sandwich Shop in the Bakery District in downtown Fort Smith. Locally sourced meat sliced daily and fresh breads from Harvest Moon Bakery. Daily specials announced on Facebook, including the Poke Bowl every Friday and Saturday. For to-go orders, call 479-567-3403.
My name is Lily. My Baba makes the best sandwiches at Lily's Sandwich Shop. Come by and see them at the Bakery District today.
If you knew all that Jody's Auto Service Centers can do for your vehicle and you'd never take your vehicle anywhere else.
My fleet is small, 14 trucks and cars. It's a struggle every day with parts, employees, and scheduling, but one thing I never worry about is vehicles. Jody's has special fleet pricing, special in and out service, or free shuttle and pickup and delivery service. And they do everything: service, repair, and maintenance. That makes my life much easier. All my vehicles go to Jody's.
Latest technology and highly trained technicians means we could do it all. From the most highly technical repairs to everyday oil change specials, tires, everything, even diesels. Jody'sAuto.com. Schedule free shuttle service or pickup and delivery. Get a tire quote, get financing. Jody's Auto Service Centers, voted best of the best by our customers year after year. We're your neighbors since 1984 with 3 full-service locations in Fort Smith and Van Buren. See for yourself at JODYSauto.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Except we've got SEC bias. Deal with it. They're the best.
In the SEC, it just means more.
I know one thing. The SEC just got a little tougher.
This is your SEC update on the Morning Rush. Brought to you by Burton Pools and Spas. Trusted pool experts and your source for backyard fun. Locations in Fort Smith, Springdale, and always online at burtonpools.com.
We hadn't mentioned Tony Vitello in a week or so. Apparently, he is having success on the recruiting trail, and because of not just the national championship, but it's one of the more popular names in baseball right now, at least in terms of social media clicks and people knowing his name. He is going to be part of the MLB draft coverage on the MLB Network coming up. You can say what you want about Tony. He brings people to television. He's all over the place, and he's done a good job of recruiting. There's no question about that. Jayden Daniels wins SEC Male Athlete of the Year, the Heisman Trophy winner. Had quite a season for the LSU Tigers, unfortunately, including beating Arkansas in just an incredible game in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, early on in the season. No surprise to see Jayden named that. A non-SEC opponent, but I do want to mention this real quick. Ollie Gordon, charged with a DUI, drinking and driving underage, blew, point, according to the police report, either .08 or .09 over the legal limit for minors, which is .02, I guess it is. But Gundy's comments are quite entertaining. We got SEC Media Days next week, but hear what he had to say at Big 12 Media Days.
So I looked it up on my phone. What would be the legal limit? Like in Oklahoma, it's .08, and Ollie was .1. So I looked it up, and it was based on body weight. Not to get into the legal side of it, but I thought really 2 or 3 beers or 4. I'm not justifying what Ollie did. I'm telling you what decision I made. Well, I thought I've probably done that 1,000 times in my life. And it's just fine. So I got lucky. People get lucky. Ollie made a decision that he wished he could have done better. But when I talked to Ollie, I told him, I said, you're lucky you got out light because you make a lot of money to play football.
It did mention that he brought him to Big 12 Media Days and had to face the music per se on having to do that. That is a story that is seeped into even SEC zones and SEC listening areas because Arkansas, of course, will play them. They're playing an SEC opponent. You mentioned game 2. I thought you had a good perspective and thought earlier that, again, they want to make an impression. While Arkansas is not a perennial SEC power the last few years, it's still an SEC branded school, and they want to make an early impression in week number 2.
Yeah, so as a conference champion, you get one of those 4 spots with a bye, right? And now that the Pac-12 no longer exists, Oklahoma State, it's got to be motivating for them. You want to be as high ranked as possible. You'd like to, if you can win that conference championship, or if you come up just short to, say, Utah, who's one of the other favorites, that's going to put you in a better spot with that win. Arkansas, we don't know how that game's going to be viewed come November, but you win that game at home, you're going to win the Big 12, you're probably watching the first round of the playoffs before, then you pare it down to what would it be, 8 teams at that point going into the next round. So Oklahoma State has a real good opportunity to get in the playoffs. Better than probably Texas and OU going into the SEC, just to be quite honest about it.
That is your SEC update this morning, brought to you by our friends at Burton Pools and Spas.
Yeah, cool down with hot deals at Burton Pools and Spas. Their summer clearance event is on starting today. Get high-quality above-ground pools installed for just $57 a month. You can enjoy up to $1,000 off on in-stock Doughboy above-ground pools. And, hey, considering an in-ground pool, if that's something you and the family have talked about, stunning fiberglass pools start at under $48,000. So don't miss out on the biggest discounts of the year, the biggest savings of the summer. Save up to $7,300 right now on hot tubs as well. Hey, these offers won't last long, so visit Burton Pools and Spas today. Hey, at Burton's, they don't just build swimming pools, they build long-term relationships. They're online at burtonpools.com or see them in Fort Smith, Springdale, and now in Greenland.
Our buddy Robert Mann has phoned in the Stadium Shop. Robert, you're not going to be at the Stadium Shop on Friday night. You're going to be at George's Majestic Lounge. Tell us kind of what you've got going on with Raised on Radio and your wife and your son.
Okay. By the way, I want to throw this in there. I think you're right. I think Texas sales will be the largest ticket sales, but I also think that Oklahoma State's a big deal. I have some athletes that come into the store, and they're all talking about how they understand that Oklahoma State's a real deal. So that makes me happy to know that they're aware of Oklahoma State being for real.
And they got a squad, that's for sure.
So the band, yeah, I don't know how many people out there know. We talk about it all the time, but I don't know how many people that come into the store realize that my wife, my son, Brian, who works here on the weekends, Chad, who works here on game days helping out the parking lot. We have a rock band. We do a lot of Journey and Blondie and, Journey again. Huey Lewis and Journey and, that kind of 80s stuff, the fun stuff. And we're playing, what's a big deal to us, we're playing Friday night happy hour at George's. And let me tell you, George's is a legendary place, and just getting to play there is a blessing. And they're taking a chance on us, so we're going to play Friday night from 6 to 8. So it's plenty of time, Tommy, for you to, come, have a few adult beverages, then go eat dinner and be home and in bed by 10 o'clock.
That's still 2 hours past my bedtime, but I hear what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, it's perfect time, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Yeah. And I'm telling you, I was originally going to name the band We Don't Suck, but they wouldn't let me do that. So we named the band Raised on Radio because we all kind of, except for Matthew, who's obviously younger than the rest of us, we grew up on radio music, and that's the kind of music we play, and I think people have a good time. And this is a big deal for us. And anybody that can come out and have a good time with us for a couple hours, man, I'd greatly appreciate it. We would greatly appreciate all the support we can get. Because if you get in there and if you get in there and you bring a big crowd, they'll have you back.
There you go. So we need to get all of our friends and buddies to come over. George's is just an awesome place to hang. And like I said, good place to start the night. So George's, you're going to be there Friday night, 6 to 8, right?
Friday night, 6 to 8. I think doors going to open around 5:30. And there's a band that'll come in the front room. They'll be playing. But we'll be in the back room in the main room for 2 hours. And, dude, I'm telling you, you're going to love the music we play. And Elizabeth's a fantastic singer. Having Chad on keyboards, you got to have a keyboard player if you're doing 80s stuff. So, I mean, it's going to be a fun night, and we really need people to come out.
All right, we'll come check it out. George's Majestic Lounge, 6 o'clock on Friday night. All right, Robert, so what's your beef Wednesday? I know you well enough that something's under your skin. Something's PO'd you off this week. What's your beef here on a Wednesday?
Oh, Lord. It's always the people who are out here on Highway 62 driving the left-hand lane 5 miles an hour below the speed limit, or get out on the interstate and out there in the left-hand hammer lane driving below the speed limit. That's a beef of mine. It's always been a beef of mine.
Right.
And anything with the Longhorns on it, that's a beef of mine.
Well, we'll have to get those horns down and our Texas shirts back out that we did a couple of years ago up there.
Oh, yeah. Those are on order, by the way.
Yeah.
I've got those coming.
Yeah, all right, Friday night, we'll see you there at George's.
Please do. We love the more the merrier, and it would really help us out, guys.
All right, love to do it. Robert and his family, great people. You can go see them Friday night at George's, starting at 6.
All right, so speaking of beefs, you kind of rebuked me yesterday a little bit when I talked about mowing the lawn early on in the morning. I found out that my new mailman is a Morning Rush listener. His name's Craig. He's a homie. I'm supposed to ask him if you know his dad, Leon. Does that name ring a bell? Leon? I don't know his last name.
I know several Leons. Leon.
Okay.
What's Craig's last name?
I don't know. He didn't send me his last name.
All right.
But do you know? So you know of Leon. So I'm assuming you know.
Can we be more specific?
You know at least one Leon. So I'm going to say that you.
When
know
I moved into my house, now it's been 15 years ago. We were there less than a week in the
Sparks.
Yeah.
Okay, Leon Sparks.
Know him well.
Okay.
Yeah. So similar thing happened that the postal carrier knocked on the door and I thought he may have had a package. It's before Amazon even. So he goes, "Man, I wanted to see if this was really you." I said, "Yes." And I'm glad to disappoint you.
Yeah.
He goes, "Man, I saw the name on this mail and I listen every morning." I'm like, "Sorry to disappoint you."
Well, brother Bruce was former mailman. He's the man, and now brother Craig is now the man.
Yep.
You know Leon, which is cool. He heard us talking about the lawn conversation yesterday, and the reason I bring this up,
Leon listens a lot to our show.
Does he? The reason he brings this up is because apparently one of the former owners of this house was a professional golfer, and he said he kept the yard great condition.
Manicured. Yeah,
manicured.
So the bar has been set high for you.
There's pressure on that.
You better hire someone.
Well, I've hired someone for July because I'm going to be gone a good chunk of this month. But I think I'm going to buy my buddies. My uncle was kind enough to give me a weed eater, and then I'm buying a buddy's lawnmower, and because he doesn't do his anymore. So I'm going to start up in August. You're going to see me out bright and early every Saturday morning, and mowing the sucker and watering the sucker as best I can. But I guess the beef is that I'll wake my neighbors up. So. Well, Craig likes
What's
me.
a reasonable time to start mowing your yard on a Saturday morning?
And I had written that down. What is a reasonable time? I don't know because when I'm up early, I'm going to usually work out or play golf. And I don't know what. I'm asking you. I've never owned a home. I don't know.
8-ish, 9-ish,
7-ish.
7-ish is too early.
Is
I
it?
tell you, that's out of bounds.
Okay,
so on a Saturday or a Sunday morning.
Post 8 o'clock, I am good. I am in the clear. But
I wouldn't fire it up at 8:01, but maybe 8:30ish.
Okay, we'll see.
You better get to know the habits of your neighbors a little bit, or you will not be loved in your neighborhood.
I have not. I've not many of the neighbors yet, but I'm excited to.
I bet they can't wait either. So
I'm gonna be a good neighbor. I'm gonna stay to myself and not have any parties or anything. It's just gonna be.
How long do you think this yard mowing thing lasts, Big C? I'm gonna say one summer.
I grew up mowing. I grew up mowing my yard.
So I know. Do you enjoy that?
Yeah. So I'm a man.
Okay.
I wouldn't mow your yard because it's like that up and down squiggly crap. Yeah. But mine's flat. It's big, but there's something like you get.
I like to put field turf on my Well, my yard never mow it
You
again.
mow it and you feel like you've accomplished something, and it's early in the morning too. We're bricked up after. You're just like, let's go.
All right, yeah. That'll last about one summer.
No, as long as I don't break my back, I'll be okay. It'll last more than that, I promise.
Cut off a toe. Yeah, something
that
like
would be rough.
All right, Richard's Country Meat Market brings you What's Your Beef Wednesday. You can find them online at richardscountrymeatmarket.com. Best selection, quality, and value. You'll find it at Richard's. For the best meat in town, visit Richard's Country Meat Market. Again, online at richardscountrymeatmarket.com right here in Fayetteville.
Jerry texted in saying it is okay at 8 a.m. on Saturday. So that seems to be the threshold. You can start at 8 a.m., but not a minute before.
That go 8:30.
8:30? Okay. We'll have to wait and see. We'll see if the neighbors come out that first Saturday, and then we'll make a decision following that. We appreciate everyone joining us here on a What's Your Beef Wednesday. Chuck, back with the Morning Rush tomorrow. I'm going to be gone the next 2 days as we get ready for SEC Media Days. Appreciate Oliver Miller joining us this morning. If you missed it, find it in our Bud Light Morning Rush podcast. The Big O was fantastic. Y'all have a good day.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence.